Welcome back to another episode of Send It Mate. I'm Couchy.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Josh. And we are so hot, when we eat bread, we shit toast.
Okay. That's probably going to be your worst one, man.
I've got another joke for you.
Go for it.
All right. Why did the gay guy get fired from the sperm bank? Because he was drinking on the job. Oh, shit.
Fuck.
You got to start it off on a light note.
That's good. I like it.
I haven't heard that one.
Really need to prep myself for some jokes, though. Because I cannot remember them.
I work on jokes, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's terrible.
That's why you wanted to drive here tonight.
Yes.
Because you had to just
recite it over and over again.
Yeah.
In the car by yourself.
Yeah, pretty much.
Telling yourself jokes. You weirdo.
Oh, dear.
You got a joke, Caleb?
I got nothing. Only and if I tell one, it's just going to be one I heard recently, like on the radio or something. So,
That's literally how I find them.
yeah, I thought so. I thought so. I mean, I didn't mind the vampire one. Did I tell that on the podcast? I told you guys the vampire one that I heard recently.
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, the one
go for
about
it.
when the vampire walks into the bar.
No.
So vampire walks into the bar and he asks the bartender, "Can I have a pot of boiling water, please?" So the bartender goes out the back, boils the kettle, gets the pot of water, comes back out and says to the vampire, "So I was thinking while I was out the back boiling the kettle, don't you guys only drink blood?" And the vampire pulls a pocket full of used tampons out of his pocket, puts them in the boiling water and says, "I'm making tea, motherfucker."
That's
Yes, I
disgusting.
think you did. Say
And
that.
I'm just blatantly ripping that off because I heard it recently on another podcast, but it's quite amusing.
That's disgusting. Oh, I wonder if someone's tried that. Someone probably has.
Why? Why would you?
A vampire
People buy
enthusiast.
dirty undies, man. Like,
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
going to buy
Probably
used tampons.
It's probably a way to acquire the taste.
Oh,
This is a nice vintage. It's a 36-year-old.
I wonder if you could tell the country.
It's Croatian.
no, just anything to do with blood, sweat, or
Tears.
shit in a sexual context. I don't get.
Well, not even in a sexual context, man. I helped a dude out once. And he, yeah,
Not in a sexual context.
Yeah, not. I just
Right,
want to reiterate, it wasn't in a sexual content.
Sure, it wasn't.
Anyway, I helped this guy out. He basically had an accident, dragged him out of the car. He pretty much died. He stopped breathing, went into cardiac arrest. I watched his eyes roll back. Anyway, I proceeded to do CPR. I ended up having to stop, clearing his mouth, and then I went back to giving him CPR. And then he vomited vile when he came to in my mouth. And I'm telling you now, it was fucking disgusting. What happened after that is he then went into cardiac arrest again. So he stopped breathing. And naturally, when people die, they lose all their bowel movements. And yeah, he was obviously holding something in because it was disgusting, man. It was the worst sort of the worst experience I think I've had when someone's lost that much fluid and shit that I've seen, and I've seen a few. So yeah, it's pretty bad.
That's rough. So
Yeah.
you had some other blokes spew in your mouth.
Vile, man. It was disgusting. It was vile.
Bile.
Vile.
Well, it is vile.
Yeah,
but
it was
it's
vile.
It's bile.
Yeah, vile. Sorry. Yeah, it was terrible, man. Oh God, I was like, oh.
Josh, did you spit or swallow?
That
Oh,
was
there's
dry
a-
reaching, bro. The gag reflex came in, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's frank, man.
Yeah, not what you want. I didn't eat that day, actually. I was like, yeah, I'm good.
Not intentionally, anyway.
Or if you were in a room with 100 cocks, how many would you gag on?
I'm not going to answer this, man, because I wouldn't be in a room with 100 dicks.
You have to.
You have to.
You got no other option.
No, you have to answer the question.
How many cocks would you gag on?
Wouldn't suck any, mate.
It's
I
not,
know. Wait, this is entrapment, and I'm not going to fall
that
for it.
wasn't the question. It's how many would you gag on?
I'm not going to fall for it, man.
That's not right
It's
answer.
not going to fall for it. You say you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So, hey, what would you do?
I'm not saying anything because I got presented with this question recently and I just said, this is a trap. Same as you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old mine still ticking over.
Should have asked that at the end of the night.
I've forgotten the answer though. Like, what's the finish of that?
Nah, because usually people go like fucking none. You're like, oh, that's talented.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Ah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
No gag.
Because no one's going to say all of them or fucking one.
Talking.
Oh,
go
someone.
On. No, go on.
No, go.
Talking about like podcasts and people gagging. Have you noticed that there's a uptake in porn stars doing podcasts, and they're just flat out talking about their life as a porn star?
Yeah, I've actually had a
seen a
fair
few.
few come across, well, anything I follow.
Yeah.
Not because I follow porn stars, but I'm like the
porn
other
stars.
podcasts that I follow,
Yeah.
that might be a
Yeah.
little bit more risque or that, you know, swear and carry on.
Fuck, I think I s-
The more
yeah, saw-
adult rated podcasts, they get porn stars on, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw a reel of I think it was another Aussie podcast, and they were talking to a chick that was OnlyFans about that.
Yeah, I think I may have seen the
I've
same
seen
one
that.
actually.
Yeah.
There was one. It was who's that YouTuber kid that fucking made squins? Got a brother that fought, or both of them fight. Jake Paul.
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Yep.
He does a podcast, and he's got his best mate that does it with him. They got a porn star on, and like his mate and this porn star are basically they're pretty much hitting it off during the podcast, like pretty much working out a time to bone.
You reckon?
Yeah,
haven't seen
100%,
that.
man.
Doesn't fuck about then.
Yeah.
Sees
He's
the
straight into
opportunity.
it. But I'm pretty sure his ex was a porn star as well. But that's beside the point.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Funny you raise that because I've seen a fair few pop up, like Barstool Sports.
Yeah.
I watch their shit. Like they've had a few on. Fucking Abby Chatfield. I don't follow her shit because she is a fucking vile woman. But she had the Aussie porn star on, Angela White. And the clip I saw for that was full on.
They made a B.
No, what she was talking about, because she was talking about how she I think it was she took a fan home, or she doesn't normally like have sex with dudes that are fans, but anyway, this
what
dude
she would say.
managed to land her for the night, went home, and she ended up having to bail because this dude was just like shoving 5 fingers in her ass dry, like just
No respect.
Not even getting paid for
it
it.
was full on.
Nah, I don't even know how you get into that profession, man. To be honest,
You
that's
just have a big dick, man.
Yeah.
no. I mean, like as a woman, like
Probably
I don't know.
just
Have you
suck
seen
on
the
a
Big
dick.
dick.
well,
Just have one
Yeah.
as well. There's probably plenty of those.
Have you seen the whole Andrew Tate stuff? And he's sitting there talking about this is going to sound pretty controversial, but a used woman essentially, and his sort of opinion on a woman that's been a slut for lack of better term,
It's well
and
run.
how bad it is over a dude doing it. It's almost like one sided.
Oh, like if a guy's a slut compared to a chick that's a slut.
Yeah, yeah.
What was his angle? Like, is it
Well,
just hyping up the sort
well-
of traditional narrative?
Yeah, essentially, yeah, definitely
was
hyping up.
reinfor- he was
he's basically
reinforcing
saying
it,
it's
like,
bad.
Going to
And-
the next level.
No guy wants to be with a woman that's been, around the block.
The village bike.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know. There's heaps of it out there lately because I don't listen to Andrew Tate, but he comes up on the old YouTube reels, and you'll get snippets of it.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, because it's so controversial, you'll listen to it.
It's
and
because
be
you
like,
keep
"No."
watching. YouTube's like, oh,
Yeah,
send me.
yeah, keep belt feeding it.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good business. Well, not a good business model. He's got this thing where he basically gets people to promote him and earns him money. So, like YouTube, like he'll just say really, really obscene things, he'll get people to video their opinions on it,
like stitch it.
and then he pretty much makes money off of it, whether it's negative or
I think
positive.
if you encourage people to do it, more people will do it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It'll snowball pretty well.
yeah. That's true.
So if you ever want to stitch our videos, go for it. I'm not going to say no.
Go your hardest, pretty much.
Oh dear.
Actually, did you see, my brother showed me today, actually, well, he asked me, he goes, have you heard about the Wisconsin volleyball team? I'm like, because he plays volleyball. I'm like, man, I don't give a shit about volleyball. Why would I know about the Wisconsin girls volleyball team? He's like, well, it's like all over TikTok. I'm like, again, why? Like, he's quite a bit younger than me. And he's like they won some competition and then just nuded it up and were taking photos of each other everywhere, and it just went viral because all the photos got leaked. So they're all just like standing around in the showers. They're like, yay, we won, and like take a photo, group hug, everyone with the tits out.
That's
Okay.
how in this day and age do you take a photo like that and then no one in that group has the forethought to be like, yeah, we fucked now. Like as soon as it's on a phone, anyone's phone,
so many
it's
people have got
fucked.
them photos.
Well,
one's leaking.
Supposedly, like the boyfriends or partners leaked it a bit, and then it went around the college because it's a college team,
Oh, so it's even worse.
University of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And then it just somehow got onto TikTok and has just gone nuts. And then it got leaked the day they had to play some other like tournament, and they fucking won anyway. So obviously affected them.
A bit of a morale booster. Here's something. We could always test this because it works with females. What if we all got our dicks on TikTok, put it out there and see how much?
They wouldn't have shown anything on TikTok, would they? Probably blurred it.
I didn't actually look what made it
Surely
to TikTok.
TikTok, you can't have guns, but you could probably have that
Supposedly some stuff like made it onto TikTok somehow,
briefly.
So there was enough people in that brief time because it went so crazy that saw it all on TikTok, supposedly.
Yeah, people are screenshotting that shit. Can you screen video something?
Screen
What do you mean?
Well, you know how you can take a screenshot? Is there a button, if you're watching a video, you can press two buttons or a button where it records the video? Fuck, boom.
Well, watch
Next
something on
big
a
idea.
laptop and record it with your phone. Like,
Or
Yeah, but
secondary phone.
most people are watching this shit off their phone.
yeah,
So how is there not a screen
Well-
video sort of setting?
I see what
I'm
you're
not sure if
saying.
there's something for like TikTok and that, but YouTube, you can just download the link.
No, because YouTube would clearly rip that crap off.
Well, it happens to like sports people all the time where a video gets leaked off a Snapchat and gets shown around, and someone's managed to screenshot that video, whether they've recorded someone else's phone
Be a
with their
secondary
phone.
phone, I guess. Yeah.
I reckon that's how they're doing it. Or you can
Well, let's just
replay and
bypass that.
save Snapchats or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Let's bypass that. Make an app where you can video shot a footage on your phone. So something's going on.
You make
and
an
you can
app.
just-
I think that's more software inside the phone, not the app itself.
Make an app to do it.
I mean,
I think there would be an app. There'll be an app.
we should call it the entrapment capture or something. Because this is the thing, when you see something you're not supposed to, or you know it, like it's gone viral, but you know it's going to get shut down, you want to be able to capture it
Yeah. So you can share it.
before it gets fucking black bloody lines all over it. Or
That raises a good point. What constitutes as banned shit these days on social media? Because you can have pretty much suggestive things from women. You can have like a kid get on there and say some ludicrously ridiculous stuff about biology, but you show a gun and that's it, you're banned.
It's more community guidelines.
depends on the platform.
Yeah.
I almost think it's all going that way.
No, TikTok's the only one at the moment that'll rip you off for guns. That I know of anyway.
But then
I'm not
it's,
sure of the other
it's
ones.
so like inconsistent with that. Like the one video we've had taken off TikTok was basically a repost showing a video of someone else whose video is still on their page, but it's been banned on ours.
Nah, that's the video that got taken down on his.
But it's on his page again.
Oh, he reposted it.
Yeah, yeah. And then so we challenged us getting that video taken down, and they said no, not coming back. So TikTok's fucked.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous, man.
I don't know what, like, because it's not an algorithm that picks up like all guns. So they must only check like, I want to say 10%, but it's probably not even that.
Who knows?
And just
Why don't they do something like Instagram does and like have like
Blur it out, yeah.
click to expose this photo
warning.
if it's, you know, like of questionable content, and then the onus is on the person watching it.
Well, that's what it should be anyway, regardless of the fact.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have that setting off because just show me everything. But
Yeah.
it's just extra work having to reveal photos all the time. Just show me everything. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get offended. Frame, I'll scroll past it. But other people know they will get offended.
don't you have to put your age in when you sign up to this stuff?
Well, to make an account.
So, you know, all right, ban it if you're under
But
18.
most social media only have to be, what, 14, 15?
And I don't think it's even like for guns, for example. I'm not sure it's anything to do with age. It's just about
They don't like guns.
But if you don't like it, don't watch.
Guns are scary.
Scroll past. Watch something else.
Yeah, people can't do that
People
these days.
don't do this because they're looking for offence these days.
It's getting ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah.
It's getting hard. It's what podcasting's the future. That and what's it, XR, which is like the next evolution of VR. I was reading about it today.
What the hell is XR?
Yeah, you're telling the story.
Oh,
Go for it.
it's like
fucking open
it's
that.
the same as VR, man.
It's like a metaverse, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
It's an X instead of
pretty
a V.
much. So instead of having a program run, like you can go into a room, say, and you want to decorate a room, you can put furniture and things in the room, and then it displays into the metaverse, and you know, obviously people can come have a look, or whatever. I did VR the other
Sounds
day.
boring as
right?
fuck.
Yeah.
I did VR the other day.
You're fucking interior designer or something?
Well, it's an example of the difference.
Like, I
To me, it just seemed like VR, but okay, they were calling it XR. I'm pretty sure.
going on that sort of fucking topic, I reckon housing visits, like visiting a house before you buy it, will probably turn that way.
Oh, definitely.
And you do your walk through VR
Yeah, definitely.
without actually going to the house, which I wouldn't trust that. Fuck that. Because you wouldn't be able to see their little
Yeah, because they
faults.
jazz it up. You look at any real estate photography, it makes
Yeah.
a room look 20 times bigger than it is.
Yeah.
And they put, like, they have all sorts of tricks, man. They put beds in there that aren't actually single bed size. They're like a 3/4 of a bed to make rooms look bigger. They do all this sort of shit, man.
Yeah, there's companies that are like that's you pay for them to furnish a house for sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use all that trick stuff. My parents' old house that they sold, they had a company come in and do it, and the house looked amazing. And after living there through the construction phase, I was like, nah, this
Yeah,
that's
we
the
all-
shit.
Wow, you have polished
hang
this
on.
turd
Well-
and rolled it in glitter.
Yeah, actually, we all lived there, didn't we?
Yeah, that wasn't a bad house though. Like it had potential, but
did.
it just when we were living there, it just didn't. It was sort of screwed
It had been destroyed.
beforehand.
Yeah, man,
So-
I'll never have slate floors after living in that house ever. I will not do slate. No way.
If you had slate, I would cover it with like a resin or something.
I
to
just wouldn't
smooth
have
it off.
slate.
Just resin straight over the slate.
Yeah, because then you wouldn't get those up like
Chips and shit.
chips and just this sort of your little cracks and grooves and stuff for shit to
it's
sit
a
in.
bugger to fucking vacuum or sweep
Yeah.
slate because it's got so many grooves and stuff.
Not if you
Yeah.
don't do it.
I
Try
can
having a
vouch,
German
he used,
Shepherd.
he used to vacuum daily.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was hard. And when we pulled the slate up and we had exposed concrete, that was even
bad.
worse.
It's like living in a shed. I mean, we're blokes, we didn't mind it, but
I suppose if you let the fur go long enough, it'll be just like a rug.
Carpet. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Put some glue over
That's
it.
one day of Bear's shedding.
Get a room done per day.
He's coming into the summer now, man. It's bad. It's real bad. Anyway, this VR stuff, right? I did VR the other week. And it was insane.
you did VR.
Yeah, I did VR. I did a video game with my missus.
Yeah, was it her idea?
Yeah, she wanted to go have a squeeze.
Where
We went
do you go?
we went to Mount Barker actually. There's like a place there where they've got video games and you can have LAN parties and it's mainly for kids. But the VR there, like we walked in to have a look around, they had VR there and we're like, yeah, let's fucking give it a go. Well,
In Mount
why not?
Barker?
Yeah, Mount Barker.
Of all places.
There's one in
No,
Golden
you need to
Grove.
remove yourself from reality there. That's why.
Yeah. Well, it was packed. like dead set, flaming packed, not just with kids, with like, 30s, 40s. They were playing games and stuff as well. Yeah,
Nerds.
That'd be awesome.
yeah, basically.
Why
yeah.
Where was the invite?
Pretty much. Yeah, nerds. Oh, well, it was the spur of the moment thing. Anyway, we played this VR, and it reminded me of playing GoldenEye as a kid.
Yes.
64-bit graphic. It was terrible. Like, it felt cool, but just the graphics were atrocious.
It's like a Minecraft.
Maybe not that bad.
Minecraft is better than fucking.
Maybe not that bad. Maybe not so blocky, but it was certainly like 64-bit sort of. That's what it felt like. It was insane. But you just shot aliens, and I'm like, oh, look, it wasn't guns. It was like little joystick things. And then obviously you got your goggles on, so you look down, and it looks like you got a gun, but it's not. You're not like holding a rifle or anything. And yeah, it seemed a little bit ridiculous. I was doing these ones. One arm was sort of like on my peripheral shooting the aliens coming that way, and the other arm was aiming this side, and I was just like, bah. It was ridiculous. But fun.
That sounds cool. Yeah. But VR is way better. They probably had basic shit. But VR these days is pretty good.
Like
Why wouldn't they have it though?
Yeah, in a game it's basic. I've done only VR I've done was I did a course through work, and on one of the nights they had a speaker, and I fucking can't remember his name, but he was ex-military and he climbed Everest, and I got his book at home. Could not tell you his name.
Oh, that's a VC winner.
Yeah.
Robert Smith.
I reckon, yeah, maybe.
Might have been, no. Could have been the other fella. I remember you talking to me about it. Sorry, go on.
But either way, he got us to put on these VR goggles, and it was like a film. Something he'd filmed, and they turned it into a VR scenario. So you put the goggles on. It's a video of him. You're in fucking a Bushmaster or something. You're driving through streets of, I don't know, fucking Baghdad or wherever. And when you got the goggles on, you can look around, and the camera moves to wherever you're looking in the scenario. So you can look forward and back inside the vehicle, and everyone's doing this independently. So that was pretty cool, but there's nothing like you could shoot something, or it wasn't interactive. You could just look around.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool.
I've played VR racing before. Mate had a setup at his home, VR headset and all that, and steering wheel, seat. It was pretty wicked.
Was it like good graphics?
Yeah, man.
It was.
Yeah, it was. Like, it's not like real life, but it's fucking not like
So why isn't it like real
2-bit
life?
shit.
I don't understand why we haven't caught up to that yet.
Well, VR takes a lot more processing power.
Build bigger processors.
That's what they'll be doing. But
Well, clearly not if it's not up to speed yet.
that was 3 years ago. I think I did that, so it'd be way better now.
Yeah.
And it depends on his computer as well, what it could run. But he had a decent computer.
Yeah.
And it was a home thing, like a more commercial thing, would be way better.
Yeah. It's definitely going to come into the future, like be a big part of people's lives.
And I think VR, it's already tricked your eyes and your brain to think it's real. So the graphics isn't.
Yeah, because you look down and you're not looking at your your floor. You're looking at.
So, but like if it's already tricked your brain to think that what you're seeing is real, there's not so much of a huge importance to have polished, perfect graphics.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think it does because
it's so much more immersive.
It'll work better, obviously, the better the graphics are. But
yeah,
there's probably more of a funding going into just how it's smooth it plays and stuff like that, rather than.
Well, here's one for you. I just watched this TV show. I can't remember what it's called. Spherical, or I can't remember. That's probably way off. But it's basically like this family, their mum's sick. Her brother plays these video games through VR. Anyway, the sister comes in, and like in the end, they get this new VR headset sent to them for beta testing. And in the end, it's not actually a simulation. She's actually what's the word?
Is this the thing on Amazon Prime, peripheral or
peripheral
or something like that? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And she's actually operating a robot, but that looks
people.
like a person. And yeah, she's killing people and things like that. Well, to that extent.
I think I've
But I'm
seen
like, do you think it would get there?
shorts for it.
Do you think it would get to that point where you can put a VR headset on?
Well, fucking oath. Like,
And-
that's how the military will roll with. If
Oh,
roll-
like human drones.
yeah, human drones. But I reckon.
Whoa.
I reckon that's how it'll go.
Whoa, bro. Can you imagine human drones? That would cost a shit ton per person, but that would be wicked.
But you'd save lives, and that's pretty much what everyone has the issue with the army.
Well, until
you
they
would-
invade
you'd
the
save-
person
yeah,
that
you
you're
would save
sitting
your own life, not theirs. But
until you're getting invaded in the building that you're sitting in with your headset on, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
It's like some big bloody chub security guard sitting there playing VR.
Just picture that, right? Your little, we'll call it a warehouse where all your fucking people are controlling the robots. But you got noise cancelling headphones on and VR goggles. They just walk through, just fucking executing everyone,
Oh, man.
and you wouldn't know.
Well, I guess if you don't know, then you're not scared.
just
Jeez.
just picture that for a second.
That would save some lives, but that would save a lot of lives. On one side.
Oh, no doubt that military or wars will be somewhat dominated by that soon.
If China got it, we'd be screwed.
Well, they already got robots that can fucking move and jump and balance like a human.
Not as well.
Fucking, you sure?
Yeah, no, I've seen there was a leaked video out, right, of this supposed robot doing all this cool shit, and it was basically just
CGI.
CGI.
Yeah, not that one that fucking starts rolling around and
Yeah. Like,
no, there's other ones that like can traverse like steps that you need to jump.
yeah, but
up
not as
into and
fluid
No, not
as
as
a
fluid.
human.
No, but-
Like,
You're a robot, and if you had a gun with you, you don't need to be fluid. You just turn the other people
Would-
into fluid.
do you? Because you just trip it up with your feet. You'd be like, ha ha, suck shit. And then run off. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Definitely have object
I
sensors.
don't think it'll be physical shit like that. I think everyone will just, if Zuckerberg has his way, Zuckerberg. I always said Zuckerberg. That's weird. Zuckerberg gets his way, everyone will just be living in the metaverse, and then we'll have some sort of one world fucking, this is me postulating here. There'll be like one world like credit system or something.
Social
Like
credit
a
system.
social credit system,
Okay.
like a personal credit system, and
Yeah.
everyone will exist in the metaverse, and then any sort of wars will just be fought virtually.
So like, what's it?
So everyone will just be fat fucks sitting at home with these VR sets on, living in this alternate world.
To do that, you'd have to get food and supplements down to a T to prolong life for those people that
Oh.
are using it. Otherwise,
You'd be
your
on
average life would be like 30.
You'd be on a drip, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You just hook in the government. Like
The government.
as fucking Aussie Review said, the government just wants you on the teat. So
Yeah.
That's
literally,
literally.
that's the ultimate reality. Is just we've got a fucking IV drip plugged in with all our nutrients. We just sit there and fucking exist in a.
Yeah, but then they'll have to have security to protect everyone, so there'll be robots controlled by people. Because otherwise, if you're the one person
Outside.
that doesn't conform to that sort of lifestyle, how much control you'd be able to get?
But
From
social
physical approach.
social credit system.
No, but if you could separate yourself from that.
How are you going to have jobs? Would you say that then you go to work in the metaverse as like virtually, but you're operating a bit of machinery in reality
And that's how you earn credits.
Well, it happens now.
to a point, not to the same extent?
Well, what's your extent? Operating machinery.
Yeah, so they're actually sitting there operating machinery virtually.
But it's actually
Say like the truck drives itself, but they're in the truck because that's their job.
no, but there's
virtually.
like there's pretty sure there's mines in Australia that are doing like
Automated trucks.
no
Mm.
and remote controlled, virtually controlled, like diggers and stuff.
Really?
It's cameras inside the cab or somewhere on the thing. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they control it from in the office, and
What the fuck's the difference? You still
you're
there's
not-
still manpower there.
yeah, but you're not. I guess you're not in the elements for one.
They're
that you
air
are.
conditioned cabs.
No, well,
Yeah, man.
they should be.
Not on the pick and
They
shovel.
should be air conditioned.
Think about how far we've come from the old fucking pick and shovel mining.
Oh yeah, yeah, stuff that.
Yeah. So
Stuff
Kudos
that.
to those guys that actually fucking dug tunnels with a pick.
the tunnels
Fuck
collapsing and shit. Fuck
that.
that.
Yeah, and food wasn't readily available, so when they finished work, they would have had to go and figure out their food.
So the canaries actually didn't die from the gas. They just said that. They just fucking ate the canary.
Well, I'd be swapping out and having a fucking turkey or some shit. That's the indicator of the bad gas.
Turkey.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, sorry, boss. This fucking canary's not cutting it. We need a turkey down here. boss."
Yeah, definitely.
It took way too long to catch on.
I know. I was like, well, come on, catch up.
Yeah,
Nah.
fucking own.
It's kind of scary to think how the future's going to go, man. Really, because
It's somewhat scary, but somewhat pretty exciting as well.
I mean, socialism's not. When you think about how society is, it's not far off from the way people want it. I mean, socialists probably don't look at it as socialists, but they probably look at it as
No, well, no one believes that they're doing the wrong thing. Like, as in whatever you want to do. Like, socialists believe that that's the best thing.
they do. But then
I'm
you
sure
look at
there's someone-
then you look at communist China, man, and you're like, yeah, okay, that socialism's bad, very, very bad. A social credit score system. There's two classes of people, red and black. If you're red, you're fucked. If you're black, you're made to feel like you're fucked. So I was actually listening and doing a bit of reading on this, right? And the red, if your class is red society, there's like you're a worker, you like the low socio-economic group, essentially, like labourers and things like that. And if you're black, you'll be maybe like a business owner or something like that. But they still, and I believe this was in 1970s, maybe to 1990s, I'm not sure, and I don't know if it's changed. But basically, if you were sort of like a low privileged class of black, you were made to every day go to a place and pretty much say that you're a piece of shit because you had money. Verbally say it. And all the rest of it. It's kind of weird when you're looking into it.
Sort of keep you down, so
Yeah,
you don't
to
get too far
downgrade
ahead.
you.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
And think you're anything
Yeah.
special.
Yeah. And then food is ridiculous, like because the government handed out food, and the red class of people, they pretty much, I think it was they lived on 2.6 grams of protein for a family for a month each, or something like that.
That's fuck all.
Like
It's nothing.
nothing. It's like a cube of meat or something like that. I don't know.
That's nothing. Think about those little 15-gram protein yogurts. How
Yeah.
big that is.
Yeah, like people were dying in the
15
streets.
grams.
People were dying as they were getting water out of the wells. Like they were dying from malnutrition. It was horrendous, man. Absolutely horrendous. Just
Why have I
reading
not
about
heard
it.
this?
I've not heard about this.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, but like you can check it up and don't quote me on everything that I say, but it's pretty much it's pretty much what I got off of it, what I read about it and listened about it. It's
You are dyslexic.
He was watching the Hunger Games.
yeah. I mean, you look into it
That was a
yourselves.
movie, bro.
If you're ever
No.
interested in looking at like a example of socialism,
It doesn't
look at
surprise me
China.
that it would happen.
Communism, though, not socialism.
Well, it was socialist China. That's what they said. Socialism and communism are
They're close.
the
They're not
same thing almost.
They're close.
Almost the same thing. Russia was communist. Socialism is like almost the next level, the next extreme.
No, but like fucking Nordic countries are socialist because you're paying like 60, 70% tax, but then the government rolls out all this shit for free. Like when I went to Denmark, I was talking to people and they're fucking happy people, but they pay like 60% tax, schooling's free, medical stuff is free. Fucking all this, there's all this stuff that's free, but you give up control and the ability to individualize and choose what you get.
Yeah, and when you look at that, it works to a certain point. Yeah, and in some case, we have that here. I mean, we pay for healthcare and things like that. But socialism's like the next level. Like you're pretty much not getting anything. The money that you get is below poverty,
Well, they probably
and it's not enough to sustain you.
Because they
at
probably
all.
wouldn't need to give you money because they've been giving you food and shelter and.
But that's the
all
thing.
that.
When you get to that level,
Well,
it gets greedy. Governments get greedy. That especially if your population grows, right, and there's not enough jobs to support the population or whatever. Suddenly, you're getting this snowball effect of okay, well, we're running out of money to buy food to give these people for free from the taxes. Let's increase their taxes. So suddenly. Affordability for homes or clothes or things like that just suddenly become less and less and less. And then the extremes are...
Yeah, well, this is all about
vast.
how much percentage of power and control the government has, essentially.
Yes, yeah,
Through
definitely.
these various different systems, whether it's socialism or communism, it's how much control the government has over what you can and can't do.
Yeah, yeah. And then you're getting almost into being assigned jobs from birth. You know, this is what you're going to be when you get older. There's no if, buts, or maybes.
It's fucked.
And for you to get out of that, you know, you're breaking the law. So if you do try to get out of it, you run the risk of going to jail or persecution. You know, so there's a whole heap of complications with it all. But anyway, that's the way we go.
Society's fucked. I hope
Yeah,
it all
it's
just
fucked,
crashes and we can go back to just living in the fucking forest.
I think this was mentioned on, pretty sure it was Rogan. He was saying maybe socialism and all that is a trick to having a long reigning empire. Because China is being the oldest empire that's still sort of successful, I guess, in a way.
Is it though? If you talk to some of the people there, is it successful?
No, as in like there was obviously going to be differences of opinion.
As in the government staying in power.
Yeah. And they're just like I'm trying to think of the word. I don't know. But obviously there's been a lot of empires that have collapsed. And China's still kicking along pretty well.
Is it well though? Because last week, some point this year, their biggest what's it called? Real estate company just went bankrupt. There was something else that someone was saying they're not producing any more. You were saying it, producing any more chips.
I saw a video that they're minimising and they're shutting down places that build them chips that we were sort of trying to find 2 years ago for like cars and just electronic equipment and stuff like that. But I reckon they're not focusing on sort of that style of thing anymore. I reckon they're starting to move towards
VR.
VR.
You got to look at what.
I don't think they're crashing. I just think they're reevaluating where they want to go.
I haven't looked at it for a while. I probably haven't looked at it for 2 years. So pre-COVID is the last time I looked at it. But you got to look at what the country's GDP is versus what they owe to other countries around the world. So, like Australia is not too bad, but the actual numbers aren't on the level of like China and the US and whatever. So the US, yeah, the GDP is pretty good, but they fucking owe a shit ton to other countries, whereas China's is sort of the opposite way around.
Yeah,
Or it was at least 2 years ago. I haven't looked at it.
countries owe them.
I think it's the World Economic Clock or something. It's a
Yeah,
website
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
I'll get you. I think I remember seeing. I think we might have spoken about this 2 years ago. Actually,
I probably did.
I think you
to be
told
honest.
us. To be honest, yeah.
But that's the sort of real indicator of who's doing good.
Oh, okay.
See, the problem with like Australia, we're just going to keep borrowing money, really. So we're only going to get further in debt overall in the grand scheme of things, unless we change the way that we operate drastically. Which to me, it means we become a republic, we rewrite everything, we start again.
We need to bring back manufacturing.
He's got the clock.
I found it. It's the usdebtclock.org.
Go for it. Where's China sit?
The US national debt is 31 trillion.
Someone is owed $31 trillion.
Yeah, so- and their GDP is 24.8 trillion. So their ratio is 97. China's fucked now, actually. Yeah. So when I looked at this 2 years ago, it was completely different. So now their national debt's... Oh, sorry. Other way around. So China's debt is 10 trillion and their GDP is 17. So they're good.
Ah.
So the lower the number, the better.
Can you imagine even having $1 billion?
The lower the public debt to GDP ratio, you want a low number. So the US is 97%, China's 62%. Japan is third on this list. Their debt is 15 trillion. Their GDP is 5. So their ratio is 289.
Yeah.
So you want a real low number. Where's Australia? 45.
Huh.
So 705 billion is our debt. I think these are big numbers. And our GDP is 1.5 trillion.
Really?
I thought we were.
Yeah. So that's a good position to be in.
Fucking oath.
And what the fuck is our dollar worth 62 cents?
I'm not an economist.
Because we're just selling our water and minerals to China.
Yeah,
That's why.
The one place
We're
we
selling
don't
it.
want it to go.
Soon it'll fucking crash and we'll be fucked. And it'll be even more of a desert.
Welcome to Send It, mate. And this is World Economics 101.
We are not experts by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
But anyway, have a look. It's interesting. USDebtClock.org. And do you know who showed me this? A millionaire.
Fucking la-di-da. We'll be a millionaire one day.
Once.
One day.
That's-
One day.
Eventually I'll earn $1 million.
Yeah.
Won't have any
One
of it,
day.
but
We'll be dead by the time we earn it.
Yeah.
That's all right.
When I'm a billionaire and buy some more guns, that'll be a millionaire.
Yeah. Hey, son, do you want to know how to become a millionaire? Well, just moving on from this drab fucking conversation.
It's a bit of waffle.
Bit of twat waffling.
I don't know how we got here, but
Who's the twat? What do you say twat? It's twat.
Twat waffling.
it's twit.
But yeah, you call someone a twat. That's blowing my mind.
We're gonna have some fun this summer because I may have purchased something today.
And only
Talking about
No, today. Didn't you purchase that the other day?
nope, today.
you bought something today.
Today.
Well, you purchased something Saturday as well.
Magnum condoms.
Well, I did buy something Saturday. Sorry.
Condoms.
Is it Saturday or today?
No, but I bought something else today.
Fucking hell, how much are you spending?
Hey, big spender.
Not a lot, but
Yeah, go on.
this is going to propel us into finally catching something. Can you have a guess?
Fishing
You
rod.
didn't buy condoms and we're catching an STI. What?
Why are we
it's a
all
reversal.
catching an STI?
Finally catching
Catching
something.
something.
Yes.
Did you get your
Fishing? Is this fishing related?
We're catching something.
Did you buy a drone?
Did you get your Land Cruiser?
A boat.
Boom!
Did you buy a boat?
Bought a boat today.
Hang on. So now you've got 3 key transport items just in progress, basically.
The boat will be here
Before-
in end of November. Before summer.
That's
well,
what you bet your
summer kicks
caravan
in.
and your fucking Land Cruiser are supposed to
I
be
bought
here.
a trailer with it, so we can at least use
Wait,
it.
you rock it up to your push bike?
Do you have some
No,
sort of fucking harness you're wearing as well? Or
to the
what?
Hilux.
No,
Jeez.
he's got a donkey.
We
for it.
all own 3 utes. I'm sure we can.
Oh, so you can tow it with the Hilux, can you?
Your Hilux struggles to tow itself.
It does, which
So
is worrying.
You're gonna put a weight.
That's all right, because when I talk about a boat, your imagination's probably going into like
like
classic craft, plate boat,
Slightly bigger than a kayak.
young bloods, sort of like their ridiculously awesome boat that you can drive from above the shelter on top of the thing.
Tinny.
I'm firmly in tinny territory.
Yeah.
But it's brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new. It's a CJ 3.7 metre tinny. With a 20 horsepower Merc
Has it
on
got a
it.
fold out canopy?
No, you got to buy that after. I realised this when I was driving home. I'm like, hey, does the engine come with a fuel tank? Does it come with this
It
and
wouldn't
that?
come with anything. Does it come with a fucking outboard?
Can you seat 3
Yeah,
people?
I bought the 20 horsepower Merc on it.
Can you seat 3 people in it?
You can.
Okay.
That is it.
Killer.
That is all.
We're going to get roasted because we've got no fucking cover.
Wear a hat and sunscreen, I reckon.
Yeah.
But I figured, you know what? Like, I was sitting there talking to my missus and I'm like, fuck it. Like, I know what I want to buy to go on top of the cruiser. I'm like, if we wait now, chances are we're probably going to have to order one and wait fucking 6 years for it to come in. We made a few phone calls, went to a few dealerships and just sort of shopped around a little bit. I already knew that what we were looking for, roughly. And it just so happened that the CJ was my preferred option. Like I wanted that to start with, and it just so happened that the 3.8
CJ means nothing to me.
just a brand CJ.
Okay. All right.
It's just like
was
like,
in stock.
It's like VR going to XR. It's just like the next letter on.
Yeah, it is.
BJ to CJ.
Oh,
I
it's not
really
an
love
actual
the
boat.
CJ.
We're all
What's the
getting
CJ? You can't afford the CJ.
Well, Mrs. said exactly the same thing. I'm going to give you a BJ on the CJ, and if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Just ask the DJ.
But yeah, I figured, screw it.
And you used to be an AJ.
Nice.
I figured, screw it. Like, it's going to happen anyway, so let's buy it now. And the engine was on sale. It was basically $4,000. So we saved $500 on the engine, and I was like, oh, shit, yeah. It's a deep
Deep CJ.
deep hull, so it's not a mud skipper like sort of
Yeah, it's
style
not a
in your
flat
head.
bottom.
Yeah. So yeah.
So we're not going to fling out of it. Hopefully.
You just
Well,
put yourself up on a fucking
Maybe.
sandbank and just fall over.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But hey, look, if it gets us out into the water and actually catch some damn fish, and we'll be good if we go to if we actually finally one day all go to the NT and go barra
Oh,
fishing.
it'd be something
We
you
got some.
take along, yeah.
We should.
Yeah. But I was like, screw it. It wasn't that expensive, to be honest.
You've just been watching the forecast that we're getting here in Adelaide and you're like, I need a boat.
Well-
Because it's fucking doesn't stop raining.
Is that including trailer or trailer extra?
It's a trailer, boat,
Alloy
engine.
trailer.
Yeah. But I was sort of sitting there. I'm sick of not catching fish here. I'm sick of beach fishing. And I'm like, nah, let's do it. I'm going to get it anyway one day. It's at a good price. It's in stock, thank God. Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, we need to take that down when we go southeast. Let me just
Yes.
skip across, go fishing.
Well, what I thought is we could go to our cape that will remain unnamed, launch off the beach. Everyone knows where we're going.
I don't. But yeah.
No, the majority of our listeners don't.
Well,
Just call it the Cape of Good Hope.
yeah, yeah. You know, launch
Send
off the
it
beach, get out.
Cape
get
send
out.
it, mate.
Yeah. Ooh, we should propose that to the council. But yeah, get out, get for a fish. Hopefully, catch some squid and some whiting. I figured if I don't do it now, we're going to roll through summer, wishing
Yeah.
we had a boat. We'll get to winter, and I'll be like, nah, not buying one now. It's fucking winter. You know,
Repeat.
and then, yeah, I'll just be on the same broken record for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
What does it weigh?
Cool. 98 kilos.
What?
Because, yeah, what came to mind then was you want to put it on the roof of your
Yeah.
79.
How much is the
Or the-
outboard weigh, though?
You don't flip the outboard upside down on the roof, but the outboard weighs 50 kilos.
So what do you do with the outboard? Just put it in the back of the
Yep.
79.
That's the plan. Obviously, because we got the trailer, we just put the outboard on the trailer for the time
Oh,
being.
yeah. Let's
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you go full caravan mode,
Yeah.
It's going to be a head fuck.
But who's up for some fishing?
I'm off for some
Sure.
fishing. I'm just imagining you having to get some sort of winch system attached to your caravan to put your boat with the big swing arm, just to put the boat on the caravan on top of your 79.
Our Mac boat ladder. Already thought about it. Nah.
Well, there's
He's already thought about
there's
it.
them framework that, like, it sits above and then folds over and then down.
Elmac.
And you can, is
The
it?
boat ladder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Fair enough. Because I'm just picturing you trying to fucking put that up there with
Oh.
your missus and it just dinging the paintwork.
Him and Peter trying to put a boat up on the fucking...
Oh,
I am
fucking-
short, bro.
I'm going to call out my brother here because we fucking pulled some shit off the top of my roof racks last week. And
Scratch paint.
fucking hell. Fence sheets.
Ouch.
Yeah. So I've got like,
So it's gouged or...
looks like a, yeah.
Make him pay for it.
Oh,
I did say it. Make him pay for it.
Whereabouts?
on the tailgate. So we slid them off the back of the roof racks to take him down and then
Dropped.
his fault.
Make him pay for it.
Lucky his finger wasn't under there.
If it was you, one of you guys, I'd be like, no, don't worry about it. But if it was my brother, I'd be like, you're paying for this, champ.
Well, my car's got a few
only Triton.
scratch. Look, it's work. Fuck off. I use it for work and play, so I'm not too precious with it. And it's, you know, it's been tiger striped a few times in the bush and whatever. So
Yeah, but that's you doing it.
Yeah, but that's me exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's true. But I don't reckon I'm going to fucking respray the whole thing. I reckon once I've fucked the paintwork completely, I'm just going to fucking tub line the whole thing.
Yes.
Yes.
That actually looks alright from a distance.
I've seen a few getting around. There's a Pajero in Adelaide that has like sandy top and then black down the bottom. It's all in tub liner. It looks fucking good.
And then, like, if it does gouge or scratch off, you can just touch it up and you can't see the actual patch.
Yep, exactly.
The only thing is it weighs a bit.
It's no big deal.
It weighs, obviously it weighs a fair more than
just,
paint.
Yeah, just because the paint on your Hilux is too heavy for your car.
Mate, the Hilux is too heavy for the chassis. What do you mean?
The Hilux is too heavy for the Hilux.
Josh
Jesus.
has to go to the gym all the time because he can't afford to put on a kilo.
It's terrible, man. I get into like, obviously you both got common rails, but I get into mine. I'm just like, foot's to the floor. It's like,
Like how worried do you get when we go on like road trips or whatever, and it's in a Hilux, and then you sit there and see him go past a car,
The overtaking,
and then
power
you
is
look
non-existent.
at the car, like no car's coming, but there's a bend up there, and you're like, fuck, please don't. We still haven't got enough time. Please don't. And you don't really settle down until you get like slightly in front of the car. Then you're like, okay, we should be able to make it before a car comes around and hits us.
Yeah. That's in fourth.
And then that corner's like a 2K away.
Yeah. And the foot is flat to the floor in fourth. And you're just like, yeah, you're redlining at fucking 5-6 grand.
Yeah. And it's just a caravan going 60k an hour on a highway.
Oh, yeah. Towing the boat's going to be something different. But that's all right. We can get out fishing. Who gives a shit? If it breaks the car, I don't care because we can catch fish. Finally.
We'll go into the water. We'll be going downhill. It's fine.
Would you dive with us? Spearfish out of it?
You're against spearfishing?
I'm not against spearfishing. I've got no problem, but I don't think I want to do it out of your boat.
It doesn't matter what you're out of. Like, you jump in the water to spearfish.
Nah, fuck, I'm staying in the boat. Sharks, man. Fuck.
That's what puts me off spearfishing.
Fuck, that's the only thing. Like, I'm sure I'd enjoy spearfishing, but you're just making blood in the water. And Adelaide, in summer, there's sharks all the time.
And I get paranoid enough cutting my hand in the water, and you're like, just release blood into the water.
How are you both going to go in Darwin with Crocs?
Yes.
I'm not spearfishing in Darwin either.
You're not getting in the water.
Oh, what if your favourite lure is caught in there?
It's $15, man. To
Not
have it
that
too.
stupid.
I jumped in.
They sell them. Just buy another one.
If you're on your last gold bomber in Darwin and you're on a winning streak and you snag it,
Well,
you're getting in to get that gold
You're
bomber.
obviously not on a winning streak if you snag it.
Nah, you're on a winning streak. You know, you're good. This happened multiple times in Darwin, actually.
Yeah,
I know, you've told the story.
Yeah, you've told it.
It's good. It's good. You just got to jump in, man. Close your eyes, jump in. Just make a bit of noise. Nothing's there. Hope you don't step on one.
You got to get in the water and thrash about and scares them off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to Darwin in a boat with you two, actually.
No, I
Holy
don't think I'd
shit.
trust you being in control of a boat when we're up there.
Well, you can drive. I don't care. Well, hey, do you have your boat license?
That's right.
No, I need to lie yet. Next Thursday.
Oh, no, I don't want a boat license.
That's
Because
what
then you'll end up driving and you can't drink. Well, you can,
Yeah, you
depending
can.
on what
You got
you...
it. Well,
depending on where
funnily
you are
enough,
and what you're doing.
studying, you've got to be under 0.05. As soon as you hit 0.05, you are intoxicated.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, I learned something too.
Actually, I thought it was 0.
No, you're allowed.
No,
it's
boats.
the same as the car.
Yeah.
But if a police officer finds that you are affected by alcohol, you can still get charged. So even if you're under, but you're driving erratically or whatever, yeah, you can still get charged. Which I only learnt last night because whilst I was preparing for the test, I got that question wrong.
So if the couple wanted to be an arsehole, you're fucked. Because that's an interpretation.
Yeah, I don't think people are like that though.
Well,
You don't think there's
You don't
some
think there's
out there that
assholes?
just go on a power trip and a cunts?
Nah, if you're swerving on the road and dangerous, they're gonna be like, "Look, bro, nah."
That's
you're
fair
done."
and reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
don't. If you're doing nothing wrong and you blow under, I think they're gonna be like, "Yeah, okay, go home."
Yeah, no, fair enough. But fucking, I don't know.
Darwin, man, Darwin was bad actually for drink driving. This is a hypothetical.
Darwin's just bad.
You go into Darwin, drive into Darwin on a Friday night. You go to the pub with your boys. You have a few drinks. Then you drive home from Darwin to Palmerston on the wrong side of the road and still not get pulled over. You used to be able to get away with it.
Yeah,
Probably
but
not
there's,
anymore.
like, there's fuck all traffic up
I
there.
think we're
compared
getting an
to
insight
anywhere else.
into why you're happy to jump into a fucking river with Crocs.
Yeah.
Like, Darwin's just
Oh,
the wild, wild west, bro.
To be honest, man, in Darwin, because of the high tides, when you're talking about Crocs, or extreme tides that they get, you got, and the heat, you got out, you did, and you got into the water. I don't know, it was probably a stupid thing to do, but you just did it.
Well, you're here to tell the tale, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Will you both when we go to Darwin?
I'll
Tell
stay
the
in boat.
tale.
You stay in the boat. When it's Darwin weather, you're going to be frothing to get in that water.
I'm going to fucking take a personal fan like some bitch I saw at the fucking supermarket this week. She was walking around. She's holding this personal fan, like a handheld fan.
It wasn't even hot this week.
Wasn't even hot. It was like
It's overcast.
20 and it was raining and she was holding a fan on the crossbar of the trolley she was pushing. She's just holding it there, blowing it on her face.
Maybe she was humid.
Menopause?
Maybe she
It was a little bit
menopause.
humid.
She was well
Maybe.
insulated, put it that way.
How'd you go with barley in the heat? In the humidity?
You adjust to it, man. So it hits you in the face when you walk
as soon
out.
as you walk out of the airport.
When you walk out of that airport and the humidity is like, fuck, it's heavy, man. And you just sweat. Like you have a shower, you're like, I'm nice and clean. You get out and you just wet again. You get used to it. You just get used to it. I don't like humidity, but
that's what I remember the most about walking out of that airport at Darwin for the first time.
Or
Feels like you hit
Changi
a
Airport
brick
in Singapore as well, because you've come from an air-conditioned plane into that massive airport in Singapore, and then you walk out the doors, and it's just like, whoa.
It's a shock.
But you will do this for Barra? That's a question.
Of course.
Yeah, I'll get in a boat for Barra.
Yeah. Getting the humidity for Barra.
Oh, yeah, it's whatever.
I mean,
100%.
we do have sort of a mild link. I can just hit up my fucking cousin in Darwin now as well.
That's true. He's probably
he'll
going to have a
have a
bigger
boat.
boat as well.
He catches
We fly instead of
a
drive.
fuck ton of barra, so.
I've been closely watching his Instagram lately, and I've been immensely jealous.
He does all right by the looks of it. I haven't talked to him in years, but he does all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been that $1 million Barra comp on up there. So we should all take next week off.
Some guy got that a while ago.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How good would that be?
To win $1 million doing something you love? Yeah, sure. Oh, we should get people to finance this.
Careful what you promise, old fucking rap battle.
And then do like a $1 million deal.
How are you going to do that, though? Like, as in, the thing about a barra is you can't see it until you catch it.
You can implant something under its skin.
Yeah,
somehow,
just
I don't know.
trank data and implant like a chip in it in a certain place, and then be like, oh, have it so it QR scans or some crap, and then be like, well, if you shoot this
And then
deer,
someone who doesn't know about their competition is just going to fucking shoot it.
Maybe they should do that. Maybe
Butcher it and get it home and be like, what the fuck's this?
maybe they should do that for the carp in the Murray. $1 million carp.
Ooh.
Well, they reckon the carp population is going to go fucking bunter with all these
with the
rains
water flow.
and all the water flowing down here.
That's not surprising.
So,
Yeah.
We need to get out for some carb. Oh, we're gonna have a boat now to do it.
oh, you don't need a boat for carp.
So we're gonna.
Here's one for you. Boat, just quickly. We should do a trip where we have to camp on the boat.
What?
Go 48 hours. I'm making this up in my head as
I'm
we
not
go.
sleeping on the boat.
Yeah, 48 hours on the boat. You got to sleep. 3 of us
Ocean?
on a 3.7 minute.
Yeah, is
tinny.
this freshwater or ocean water? 'Cause
Yeah, I'll do it on a river, not in the fucking
Fucked on
ocean.
Nah, because this is you're not gonna go deep sea fishing in this thing, man. You'll
Why
find
not?
a cove and pull in.
Find a nice clear glass day. And
Yeah.
How
get
far
hope
out would you
doesn't
go on
change.
your boat?
Oh, I don't know. 'Cause
You
I'm
get
from out
whiting
on
and
it.
stuff out there.
You go like a
Yeah.
K out or whatever
I wouldn't go that far.
on a good day. But like you come in during the night and you find a cove, but you're just not allowed off the boat.
What?
So you park up in a cove, like in shallow water, close to the beach, the
That
shore.
would look sus as fuck if you walk past like on the cliff face and you like 3 cunts sleeping in a boat.
But we got to do it.
I got to shit off the side of a boat.
You can't hold your shit for 48 hours.
Well, you can.
I might
Yeah.
not be able to. It depends what we're eating.
Well, that's fine. You just got to do it.
You go hunting, you naturally just hold it in.
I mean, there's naturally seats there. So,
There he is.
Yes.
But would this be a challenge that our listeners would like to see?
I'm not sleeping in a boat for 48
Well, we
hours,
can still
bro.
run right.
Not with that. Well, just
I've
don't sleep.
I've done 24 hours in a car with you.
We slept in that car.
Oh,
too.
and yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm opposed to it or not.
I like the idea. Something out of your comfort zone. Let's do it.
I'm starting to wonder about you, Josh.
Yeah, why do you want to sleep so close to us all the time?
Well,
He always wants to, when we go hunting, he always wants to be under the same hoochie.
Jump in the RV3 Plus with us.
Yeah. Now the fucking
just
boat.
looking out
There's
for
room
your
for
well-being. Sorry, lads.
That's why it's
I'm
called the
not looking-
RV3. It's meant for 3 people. Come in and
Exactly.
then find out what the
Fucking-
plus means.
We
Not
can
looking
set the
forward-
mood lighting as well. with
Not
the
looking forward to you getting your
skyline.
caravan.
No, that's
Gonna
just
be,
that's
spend
not
a
for
week
you.
in the caravan, not let her leave.
I'll
That's
do
not for
48
some
hours in
of
the caravan with you.
What? Just confined in the caravan, not let her get out.
No, come on. This is a challenge when we get it. We should do it.
48 hours in a
48
boat.
hours is a
48
big
hours.
first off challenge. How about we start off with 6 and see how we go?
24 hours is enough.
Nah,
24
48.
hours is huge.
2 days.
2 nights.
And we can't
3
set foot off the boat.
Nah. Cook, eat, piss.
I mean, I don't think it's out of the realms of possibility because you just have a jet boil, you have food, water.
Like, it's feasible.
For 48 hours,
It's
is.
awkward.
It's weird. Like,
I'm not talking about a blow-up dinghy. I'm talking about a tinny that's Small.
Let's
How are we
see-
sleeping?
Let's get in this boat first before we work out how we're going to
Oh,
sleep.
it's not going to be a comfortable night's sleep. There is no doubt about that.
I need to work out the logistics of sleep.
Your legs
Can I
aren't
lay
going-
down?
Have fun, cunts.
Can I
That's
lay
not-
down, or will I be
You'll be cradled. That's probably the best
like
way
in
to put it.
between each
Oh.
bench sheet sort of thing?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, you could try and lay across it somehow if you
Yeah,
want.
that's more
No,
what I'm thinking.
someone sits down on the bottom, spreads their legs, you sit between his legs, lean back against him, and you've like 3 of us.
Or just go back to back, facing out. Still army style.
Fucking,
Just suspend myself in the water with my head out. Sleep vertically.
you're off the boat.
Yeah,
That's true.
you failed immediately. Out of all the challenges
Taking
that
a
we've
hammock.
come up
Don't
with,
fall in the water when you take a
Hammock.
shit.
2 poles and a hammock.
well, let's think about it. Out of all the challenges we've come up with, like shooting a K in 60k an hour wins with a 2-3, living on a boat for 24 hours, for 48 hours, doesn't really seem that difficult.
Can I
It's
modify the
48
boat?
hours. How many cramps will you have in that time?
Oh, there'll be,
And it'll get worse.
There'll be
as it-
plenty.
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Can I modify the boat?
Can you? What's
Can I
your
modify it?
What's your modification?
2 places for me to put 2 poles up and suspend a hammock from.
Yeah, if you wanted to. See, I don't feel that's
Hammock
going to work
/ sail.
because as soon as you roll over or get into the hammock and it swings, the boat's
Right.
just going to be like.
And because you're going to be higher up too, because you're suspending from the poles. But I reckon we should do the same style as like we need to do like dust boat. Have you guys seen the videos of that?
No.
I think it's called dust boat.
You want to get my boat for a day and modify it?
Or give it a paint job or fucking watch it. I rate it. It's cool.
I actually want to call it Send It Mate Podcast.
Simp.
You need.
Simp.
Is that what our fucking acronym is? Simp?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sex act.
I put it in a folder at home on the computer and I'm like, fuck. No one thought of that.
Simp.
But-
No, yeah,
No,
you
it's Sim Podcast.
you got to
That's
give her a
our
name.
Yeah, it's either that or it'll be Buck Hunter or something ridiculous.
That's ridiculous for a boat.
ATAC.
It's got to be something vaguely nautical.
Genevieve. I'll name it your rifle's name.
I mean, okay. No, it's got to be something to do with the sea or fish or something. Otherwise, you can't call it
Fucking
the
little
Buck
Blues-
Hunter.
You can call it Send It Mate Podcast or Send It Mate.
It isn't a podcast. It's a boat.
Just call it Send It Mate. Call her Send It Mate. Both are females.
Sim boat.
That sounds like a sex act. Hey, do you want to come out and on the simp with us?
No, Sim.
Sim.
Sim boat.
Dinghy.
Sim yacht.
But let's make it a thing. Let's do the 48 hours.
Oi, give us a name for Josh's boat. I want to see what everyone comes up with.
Oh, God. Okay, it's not just my boat, all right, here. It's got to pass the missus
Nah,
as
should be
well.
cool. Should be cool.
Right, cum goblin it is.
She did tell you the other day, you just got to be funny. So it'll go with that.
She likes funny. If it's funny,
That's why she's with you.
Yeah. She likes funny.
Funny looking.
Mate, funny gets the girls.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got no ideas right now, but
Nah.
But the 48 hours is happening.
I think we start off with 24. If we're going to do any hours.
We'll do obviously some
Let's do
trial
a
runs.
maiden run, just of a fishing trip.
Me and my missus will do a maiden
No,
run. Thank
it's
you.
us three, because it's a sim boat.
But
Wait, what is this? Is it the sim boat or not?
well, no, it's the Send It Mate boat.
so is our boat as well.
To be honest, man, that logo on a boat and then
Puffs.
superimpose like a fishing rod or a fish somewhere on there or something would look alright. You'd be like, yeah, sick.
Well, you just removed,
I'm repping the brand. What are you talking about?
removed the bullet and
You're going to
antlers.
mount fucking antlers to it as well?
Yes.
It needs to be more
The red
seaworthy.
deer antlers.
Attach them to the front of the boat. That'll look mint. European mount, like put your fucking head on the front, like fucking, what do they call it?
Viking.
What's the boat's called with the fucking figurehead on the front?
Figurehead, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a good
Fucking
idea.
oath. Put a gargoyle there.
And then a gun rack on it.
Duck hunting.
Oh, don't say that because one of our mates will be like, yeah, let's turn it into a duck blind.
Oh, he will definitely do that.
Have a mermaid with her tits out. Just big, good tits.
Nah.
Please and cute. Oh.
Nah.
Why? Why not have nudity on your boat, Josh?
Paint a big dick on it.
It's a free vessel.
Straight away, I'm going to want to be on it more.
I'll do 48 hours.
I'll sleep on her for 48 hours, no dramas.
I reckon we could do 48 hours.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think it's the first stage. We shouldn't start 48 because then
Why not?
Because you got to go up from there.
The boating experiences are only going to get better if it's a bad 48 hours, isn't it?
No, but if you're going to do anything, start off with 24 and then lead up to a 48.
Nah. Nah. Moderation's for cowards.
Let's just pass your boat license first, all right?
Yeah,
Oh, I got
Let's
this.
not get ahead of us.
I got this in the sack. I got this. Fucking I got it, man. I did the last test I did last night. I got like one question wrong. Got all the compulsories right.
The
Just the
alcohol
alcohol
one.
limit.
The alcohol one. The one that's going to get you fucking chucked
Well,
off.
Actually, yes, it was.
Is
the
there, a
alcohol
is there a restriction of alcohol when operating the boat? No.
Is it 0.05? Is that just guidelines? Is that like a
It's not 0.05. It's below 0.05.
yeah? Is that just a guideline?
Pretty sure it's a law.
Yeah. Is
Are
it?
you asking if it's a guideline or it's a hard and fast rule?
Yeah. Being facetious, but yeah.
I know you want it to be a guideline, but then like you can't have a breatho on board because you just never know.
48 hours of drinking piss.
Oh, and
Yeah.
wait, if you're not operating the boat and there's three of us, well, no, the fourth
If
comes
the keys are out of the ignition,
if the keys are out, are you technically operating the boat still? Like, because if you're in a car and you got the keys on you sitting in the car, you're technically in
I
control of
get
it.
some feeling there could be some intent laws or something like that come into play there. But technically, you could be like, well, this is our campsite for 24 hours, so it's our home. It's just on the water.
Yeah, like is there a nautical equivalent of loitering law that we're going to be in?
Nah,
Can
could be
you,
alright.
can you put a sticker on the side of it saying identifies as a houseboat?
Man, I still think this is a good idea, and we should try it. What's the worst case scenario? We all get jack of it after 24 hours, and we're like, let's go home.
Because it's 48 hours. You'd be
Yeah,
like,
'cause
no,
that's-
we can't do that.
That's 24 hours of my life.
Oh,
That'll be fucking awesome.
Look, if I'm catching fish the whole time, I don't
Imagine
care.
if you caught a fucking tuna.
are you catch release? Because I was going to say, we're going to run out of room pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's Adelaide, so
Yeah,
how quickly are we going to get our boat limit?
Fucking little shitties.
48 hours and we only catch 5 fucking King George whiting. I'd be pissed. But it would probably
And
happen.
we wouldn't come back with any because you'd eat it.
Yeah,
Have to eat what you catch.
that's all right. The thing that I want to chase is squid, man.
Obsessed with
Broth over
squid.
squid, mate.
I don't know why.
Oh, it's like the caviar of the ocean.
No, there's caviar
Yeah,
No, that's caviar.
in the ocean.
it was a pun.
It's a shit pun. We got to do something though. but not
100%.
48. Just have that 48. Just
Okay,
aside.
a night.
Yeah, that's
Let's
24.
make this decision after our first
12 in the
after our
noon
maiden
to
voyage.
12 in the noon.
Yeah, after the Senate maiden voyage.
I thought you said in the nude. I'm like, this has just made this even more awkward.
What if we do it nude?
Wait, you're wearing clothes?
We'll be sunburned as fuck. Just imagine you just get off this boat after 48 hours. Just
Your dick's blistered up and shit.
blistered, like, sorry, Dal, but you ain't touching that thing for a week.
Oh, mate, I'd just be like, French tickler, let's go. Just going to have to use it more than once a year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'd imagine that you having a boat every day, you'd be like, want to go out?
If it's good, yeah. The thing, when I was like on the Yorks the other week, man, like just waking up in the morning and that video, and it was just a glass out, I'm like, fuck. It'd be amazing on a boat right now. We could just hook out, actually catch a decent feed for dinner and hook in and just enjoy it just that little bit more, you know, instead of just always falling short of where the decent fish are or the squid are, and it just becomes an effort because you're like, yeah, fishing's almost on shore for me has become this thing where it's almost a chore because I'm like, yep, I'll get lucky, I'll catch something, yeah, cool. It's not going to be anything great. It's probably not going to be the target species that I want. It's a bit of a lucky dip. And, you know, if I could just get out that 100 meters more, I'd probably clean up, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it eats away at you every time you go out. Every time, man. It does. Well,
Actually,
it does for me.
I was thinking about like the next thing is to find the points that are good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
On one of the Facebook pages, it was a fishing South Australia one. One of the guys we used to go in the army with, he chucked up there just asking for any decent areas. Did you see it?
yeah.
And people were sending him fucking GPS locations.
Yeah, but to where?
Yeah.
No, in
So the
China.
cross keys.
I haven't checked the GPS locations, but it's for Snook. His spots were that I screenshotted. Thanks, mate.
Damn. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, because I saw that. I'm like, that'll come in handy one day.
I don't think I've ever caught a snook,
I don't think I've
Snook?
ever seen one. No.
or a garfish for that matter. I've never caught a gar.
Really?
I actually haven't caught that.
I've never
many
tried for
species.
gar. There's a different rig you got to use for them
Yeah.
as opposed to fucking whiting. But
Gar's nice, but it's like almost an uneventful fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it doesn't give you any fight or anything.
Well, I've never caught one, so I don't know.
you have.
Yeah, yeah. I actually caught a snook on
Snooky.
a lure.
Snooky.
Mm.
Is it snook or snook?
Which
I don't
that was
know.
the first time and the only time I ever caught one
On a lure.
on a lure. Yep. Didn't think I was going to catch shit.
Cool story.
Yeah.
Is it garfish or snook that you have to like? It's you got to troll real.
Definitely snook.
Snook.
Quite.
I'm settling into snook now.
Yeah, it's snook.
Snake.
It's not snook.
Snake, snook, whatever.
No, snook.
Yeah,
Snook.
snook. I don't know. It just sounded weird to start
But
with.
I think it's one of them that you're sort of trolling, and you got to troll at a decent speed.
Yeah, we were going pretty quick. It was
Yeah.
my old boss's boat.
Maybe it's garfish.
It was favourite lure, and he
both.
gave it to me. And
you lost it.
Yeah. No, I caught one.
I was going to say, if you lost it, would you jump in and get it?
Yeah.
In the ocean.
Shit, yeah. It's only water, man.
Oh.
I'd rather jump in the ocean than Darwin water.
I've been spearfishing in Adelaide waters, and it's not that scary. The first time, a little bit nerve-wracking because there's white pointers supposedly everywhere.
Exactly. You wouldn't be saying that with a shark in there with you.
And I'd like to go scuba diving, but there's just too many sharks here. But then Then I went scuba diving on the East Coast. It's just as bad.
Tigers and shit there.
Right.
Like probably
Oh, there's more species.
more
up there.
aggressive sharks actually over there.
Yeah.
Apart from that poor one fella that was eaten by a white pointer earlier on this year on the East Coast.
Oh,
Did you see that?
Was that on the East Coast where they filmed
Someone
from the
filmed
rocks?
it off the rocks, yeah.
I thought that was SA.
No, I thought that was East Coast.
I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, it was brutal. But you can't do anything. What are you going to do? Like, you obviously don't film it, but
Well, you'd think, but we live in 2022, so yeah.
yeah, this guy got torn to shreds.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But just hope that it doesn't happen to you. And if it does, what a way to go out.
If I had a choice to go out, I had to go. I'd probably jump out of a plane.
Really?
See how many flips I can do before I hit the ground.
Over getting eaten by a shark
Yes.
or chasing some mad fish with your spear gun.
I'd imagine that if my luck, the shark will take my ankles.
So
And I'll
you got
slowly
nubs.
bleed out.
They've got artificial limbs now, bro.
No, but the point is to die. That's what the topic is.
I think you're going to
So
be all right,
I'll
man.
slowly bleed out in the water. Probably
think-
get eaten by fucking...
None of us swim very well,
No.
which is which is not great either.
Actually, did you see the video of that fucking whale's dick that washed up on the beach?
What the fuck do you
Well,
Google?
just talking about... No, it was in the news, man.
I'm interested.
Yeah, it was in the news. I can't remember what it was. It was either New Zealand or the East Coast somewhere. Anyway, on the beach, there's this big fucking grey thing. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's a dick.
That's got a big belly.
Just rolled up on the beach and this chick's looking at it. But apparently whales, when they fight, they bite each other's dicks off. And it's quite common. It's quite common for whale dicks that have been chomped off to just wash up on the beach.
You for real?
Is it their way of trying to like sterilise the competition male?
That's actually a good point.
I didn't get that far into it, but yeah.
It's probably got some truth.
I wonder how
behind
much semen they release after that in the blood.
that. It's uncontrollably ejaculate after that dick gets
Yeah,
eaten
just
off.
I mean, they don't bite it off during a blowjob. I think they just bite it off during the fight.
But hang on, doesn't a whale? I've not actually seen a whale up close and personal like this, but doesn't the dick retract? So it'd have to be hard. It'd be getting hard because it's getting it off.
I think we'd know if a fucking whale is just
Maybe
swimming
they
around, it's
sword
just got
fight, I
dick
don't know.
hanging. That's just normal.
Jumps out the water. There's two splashes. Oh, that was two whales. No, son. No, it wasn't.
Why are there not more
well
videos of whales with the dicks out? Like you see horses and shit all the time, just like trotting around a paddock with a fucking chub.
Horses, dogs.
Why don't you see a whale just with a cracked a fat in the water? Just
Cool. I think it's
hydrofoiling
there.
out of the water.
Probably the difficulty of actually.
Yeah, it's got that barb like that shape that like dogs' dicks have, and it's just sitting there. Yeah, hydrofoiling. It's like surfs up, motherfuckers. Wait, if there's some truckies out there that are listening to this shit, I feel sorry for you.
Oh, they've heard a lot worse.
When was the last time you guys went to the beach?
And seen a whale's dick.
Oh, dear. No, truckies.
Seen a truckie's dick.
They wouldn't go to the beach
No,
often. I wouldn't,
truckies going to the beach.
they wouldn't go to the beach that often, I wouldn't reckon.
Why not?
Especially if you're doing like an inland fucking route all the time.
What if they're going down to the coast? Stop in, have a feed at the pub, look at the fucking ocean, some whale's dicks.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
in the news. I
probably
don't
would.
seek this shit out
It'd be hard to find a parking spot.
at the beach.
Yeah, if you're a truck driver.
I'm searching for whatever joke you're making. And
Driving
I'm,
a fucking truck.
Yeah, I feel like this is a
Legitimate. That is it.
literal thing, but yeah.
well, just on a populated beach, it's hard to find a park.
Yeah, if you're driving a truck.
Okay. I thought there was a deeper layer to okay.
Oh dear.
I thought there was a way deeper layer to this joke.
Sorry, guys. That was nothing.
It felt like there was entrapment again.
It did.
It did.
But what was your theories? Go on. There might be a good joke here we can construct.
Do you have a teddy strapped to the front of your truck?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, you haven't seen this
Oh,
movie.
that doesn't have a joke either.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you-
No,
Nah,
I
you've
know
gotta see this
truckies
movie.
do that.
Nah, it's this movie called The Vacation. It's funny as fuck. If you haven't watched it, you got to watch it. But
Seen it.
it's got the dude with the crossbow off of Walking Dead. He's driving a truck, and
Norman Reedus.
yeah, they at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, what's with the teddy?" And he's like, "Oh, it makes the kids feel more comfortable."
Oh yeah. I remember because they basically paint all truck drivers as like rapists, basically.
I had this conversation with my missus, actually, not truck driver, but have you noticed that the old Jeffrey Dahmer glasses are starting to get in fashion? Like dudes are starting to wear, or people are starting to wear the old, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer,
Yes.
big Coke bottle
Oh,
glasses,
yeah.
and it had that real sort of
Oh, really?
70s.
They're
Sort of,
not coming in fashion.
yeah, man. Like, yeah, Mrs. pointed out the other day, and I'm like, you know, when someone points it out, and then you start noticing it more, you're like, fuck. And it looks like a rapist guy. Like,
I suppose she would know what everyone's wearing, considering she works on the street.
That doesn't sound. That doesn't sound. It doesn't sound like.
I thought I'd add it in there because you won't want to justify it.
No,
So we'll just leave it marinate.
He can't clarify it, but yeah. That's funny.
I can't. But, wow. She's probably going to kick you in the dick tomorrow, mate, at dinner.
She won't hear this.
Hopefully the start was boring enough, so she's like switches it off and doesn't listen to it.
Anyway, that's a level of secrecy just between us.
It is. It is.
Cool. Well, fucking, we've waffled for a fair while. We haven't got to the topic yet.
Well, it
so.
hasn't really been a waffle, though, has it? I think it's been good.
We've covered some shit. I'm excited.
We have. We could end it here if we wanted to.
But do you want to end it?
No.
Do you ever want to end it?
No, I never do.
48 hours on a boat, mate. You'll never want to end it. You want to just stay there.
Imagine if we could record podcasts back to back
Oh,
on the
God.
boat. Is there any way of getting power to the boat?
I can't even remember, and I have notes, and I was reading them viciously to try and remember what I was going to talk about tonight. And after this hour and 21 minutes, I can't remember any of it.
So
Good thing I got notes.
Do you still want to dive into the topic breakdown?
Let's dive into
I reckon
it,
we
man.
go for it.
All right, well, let's dive into it. So the topic, believe it or not, for this episode is out of this world. And we've taken a while to get to it, but we have now got to it. And I'm going first, apparently.
You are.
All right, so out of this world, straight away I thought, well, send it, mate. Send something out of this world. Can you... Well, this is the question I asked myself before I did some research. So I'll ask you the same question. Can you shoot a bullet into space from Earth? As in, you're on the ground. Can you shoot a bullet into space?
What?
Can you shoot a projectile?
Is a projectile?
'Cause yes.
Is it like a regular bullet? Is that what you're saying?
Without any sort of rocket propulsion, can you just shoot
A normal bullet,
a bullet?
like a
into space?
308.
Yeah. For example, 308, can a 308 reach outer space?
No,
No.
Why not?
because it's just the altitude. It's not there.
Just doesn't have enough propulsion.
Because of gravity. That's why.
How far up can you shoot this?
Well,
so can you shoot it like 3,000 feet and start there?
What?
You
Like say you're in a plane 3,000 feet high. Can you then shoot
No,
it?
from the ground.
Oh, your best chance would be to get on top of fucking Mount Everest and have a crack from there, because that's the only point if you're going to have a chance.
From the ground, can you reach space with a
Yeah,
gun?
Everest. You'd have to go from there.
This is entrapment. There's going to be a
It's
trick
not
question.
entrapment.
I
No.
don't think you can.
No.
All right, well, here's a secondary question. What is the distance from Earth, from the ground, to outer space? What's that distance?
Oh,
To the inner atmosphere, outer atmosphere.
you have no idea about
So it's
either.
the point at which it's the Earth's atmosphere and it then becomes outer space is called the Kármán line.
That's fucking high, man.
Do you know what that distance is?
I wish I took note of what Branson and that flew
Yeah,
at,
I'm
because
gonna-
that was it.
I'm going to take a huge gamble,
Just guess. Give close to the, let's do
Huge
closest to
gamble.
pin. How many kilometers?
and I'm going to say
Oh, kilometers? All right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm going to say kilometers.
How many kilometers from the Earth to outer space?
Oh, I was going to say feet.
Yes, I was.
Why would you do that?
Because everything in height.
Yeah, it's
So we got to do
feet.
some sort of conversion. Fucking.
I know. That's
just
why I was trying to. Yeah.
kilometers or miles, I'll accept.
Well, 3 feet per fucking meter, roughly. Isn't it?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. We can fucking convert that.
Oh, come on then.
All right, I'm going to say
Get the calculator out.
13 miles.
What?
13 miles.
Don't even say feet. What the fuck?
13 miles.
What, now you want to throw a different conversion?
No. All right.
You're nowhere near it because I know what
Let
it
me
is in
think.
miles and I
80
know
80,000
No.
what
feet.
feet. Fuck, get your calculator out. Jesus.
not.
What?
We'll do it over 3.
Just give it to me in kilometers, please, or miles. I'll accept either.
Here we go. 80,000. Why do you have to be difficult, Josh? It's 26.
What are you dividing it by 3?
No, because you can get 30,000
That gives you meters.
feet.
You're dividing it by 3 though. Why are you not timesing it by 3?
True.
3 feet in a meter.
Yeah. So you got to divide that. I don't know.
Anyway, can you just give me a fucking kilometre? How many kilometres from Earth to outer space?
Yeah, well, that's
The
close. I was thinking about 200,000, but
feet.
But I'm going to say in kilometres. I'm going to say like. I'm just not going to relate to the feet.
3,000.
No, not 3,000 k's.
It's not as far as you think.
I'm going to say
1,000.
8.
8 kilometres.
Yeah, just I feel like I can't.
No, because a plane, you can
take
get
it
like
off fucking stage.
30,000 feet in a plane. So that would be, what, 10 Ks?
Go
Do the math.
So I'm going to say 12. You said it's less.
Hang
so
on, I'm getting a conversion thing up on my phone.
Can I just read the book?
I'm getting feet to metres, all right?
Okay.
So what are you saying? What are you saying?
we can get 30,000.
Well, he went too
30,000.
He went-
You said 80,000 feet, didn't you?
Yeah. To begin with.
That's 24 kilometres.
Yeah, I'm going to say somewhere around there.
Couchy.
But it sounds like I'm way off the ball.
Closest to pin. What'd you say? 8 kilometres.
I was just taking a stab.
No.
But no, I'm going to say I don't think it's quite as high. Fuck.
Well, a spaceship travels what?
All right. Well, I have a feeling. I'm just going to say I thought it was lower, but now I think it's higher. I go 30k.
It's more than that. So it's 100 kilometres.
Oh fuck.
So the distance from the Earth to the Kármán line, which is the defining line where they say it's now the outer space versus the Earth's atmosphere, 100 kilometres or 60 miles.
Yeah.
Now,
And I watched a video on it. Okay, go on. I watched a video that stated that a bullet will roughly go about 3k directly up in the air.
yep, yeah. There's a lot of stuff around that. So
Then you're getting into projectiles.
That was actually on Veritasium, if anyone's seen that. It's good episode. YouTube.
well, let's talk about fucking velocity. So a handgun average, like velocity of that projectile, 200 to 300 meters a second. So we're not talking feet a second or anything like that. We're talking meters a second. All right, we're keeping it all in metric.
The Star is 390.
All right. So your
390
average
meters a
rifle,
second.
700 to 1,000 meters per second. So, but there's a number you got to get to actually get out of the Earth atmosphere. So with gravity and everything like that, counteracting your bullet's velocity, the escape velocity of the Earth is actually 11.1
Oh, because you got to break the barrier.
kilometers per second.
Yeah, it's fucking quick.
So 11,100 meters per second.
So even if you could fire the bullet high enough to get to that atmosphere line, it wouldn't break through.
So that your rifle
Would
is
burn up for starters.
say your average rifle, if it's shooting 1,000 meters per second, if you're shooting it directly up, there's still gravity like working on it even harder as well.
Yeah, but just say it maintained that speed and didn't get slowed down, it wouldn't break through. If you're saying you had to,
Yeah, you got to get to 11.1 kilometers a second or
To
11,000
break through.
meters a second.
or to get to the height.
So this prompted me because I'm like, well, fucking, why can you not shoot something into outer space? Well, people have tried it, and so I had to look at some big guns that have existed. So not anything that's rocket propelled, but just shooting something like
Sabo, yeah.
yeah, right. Sending something out of a fucking barrel. The Paris gun in World War One. This got to 1,500 meters a second. But this was a gun that they made basically to bomb, I can't remember which city, or shoot projectiles at this city. And that thing weighed 256 tons. It had a 238 millimeter bore, which that's reasonable.
Yeah.
But it only had 130 kilometer range.
Only.
Yep. So you're not getting the velocity to get into out of, if you shot it directly, like
Yeah, no way.
perpendicular to the surface of the Earth. No, it's not happening. Now, like a tank gun, which shoots APF SDS rounds. I didn't actually look up what that means, but Josh, do you know?
APF, what?
APF SDS rounds.
Piercing FD.
Phosphorus? No, that's P.
Something like that. Anyway, so that they go 1,500 to 2,000 meters a second. So we're still like a fifth of the fucking velocity you need. There's a railgun that the US Navy did experimentally that got to 3,500 meters a second.
Not even close still.
So nowhere close. So then I got onto a guy called Gerard Bull. And back in the 60s, there was a project called Project HARP. And that started because they wanted to be able to basically shoot weather, not satellites. Well, it eventually turned out they wanted to be able to shoot satellites, but they just wanted to be able to send like weather beacon things up into the atmosphere. So that started in the 60s. That got parked, and then this guy, like, it was his project. So he was Gerard Bull. He was super keen to be able to basically create this super gun to be able to send things into outer space from the surface of the Earth. So these things were like, his idea was just crazy. So move forward another 20 years, and he basically worked for a few different governments on different projects and whatever, but he ended up getting picked up by Saddam Hussein, who was just like, I like what you're about. And obviously this guy needed some funding. So Saddam Hussein was like, well, okay, you want to be able to shoot something far enough into outer space. He obviously saw it for some other alternative means. So as Saddam Hussein basically funded this project. So it's a $25 million gun. And this project was called Project Babylon. And this was a super gun with a bore of 1 meter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this thing didn't get up in the end. So they built like a prototype, and then there was 2 of these larger Babylon super guns. So parts basically got made from various places around the world. So 1,000 millimeter or 1 meter bore, 156 meters long the barrel would have been, and they basically had to dig it out into a hill. Well, if they completed it, it would be dug out into the side of a hillside, mounted at 45 or 55 degrees. I think it was 55 actually, to be able to fire the thing, to get satellites to go into orbit. So you've got to break through the outer atmosphere, get into outer space, and then orbit. So rather than because at the moment they got to send satellites up on a spacecraft or a rocket. So this thing, they wanted it to be able to send satellites up.
Well, it's the same principle with a spaceship, because I'm pretty sure they use the rotation of the Earth to assist in slinging themselves out of.
So that's why it's set up on an angle,
orbit.
not at 90 degrees to the surface of the Earth. So this thing was, well underway, but then old Gerard Bull got assassinated. So obviously because he's working with Saddam Hussein, some
dictator shit going on there.
Maybe that's how the war started. Fucking.
Well, this was 1990, and they reckon the most likely organisation who assassinated him was Mossad, because that was sort of, they were Israel was most under threat from Saddam Hussein at that point. So they kind of thought, well, this Gerard Bull guy is just helping Saddam Hussein set up a super gun that's going to be able to fire stuff at us. So they reckon there could have been others, but it's unconfirmed basically. But they reckon the most likely is Mossad. And this guy was shot 5 times at his door. So they don't know if he was returning home. He lived in Belgium, I think. Don't quote me. But he was either going into his front door or opened the front door to someone, but he was shot 5 times. Twice in the head, 3 times in the body.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard 2 different things. One said 5 times in the back of the head. Other one said 3 times in the body, 2 times in the back of the head. But then his briefcase, which had $20,000 in it, was left there next to him.
Yeah, 100%.
So they're not. They're
job.
gone.
Yeah,
Nah, that's not a robbery, or
100% that's a job.
So he got assassinated. So they've actually not still done it.
No one's tried to pick it up.
Obviously, you can get. I mean, the US has DARPA and fucking rail guns and the experimental shit.
Can I interject?
Go for it.
So don't quote me, but the last thing I heard was it's supersonic or hypersonic. They're working on hypersonic things at the moment. And so you're breaking, or they're trying to get close, maybe not the speed of light, I don't know, but they're trying to certainly hit Mark 4 or further. I can't quite remember, faster. But they're now trying to develop weapons, and I believe they have achieved it. Possibly not weaponized it. So this is done in testing. But they're essentially getting a solid projectile to shoot that fast. I don't know what that is in Ks per hour. But what their aim is to sling it up as far as it can go, and then using the gravitation of the Earth, it's assisting in the propulsion of the rocket. Well, that's their theory. And then to hit that hypersonic or supersonic, or I can't remember what it is, to then hit the Earth. And apparently it creates the same energy as an atom bomb just by using, and it's a solid thing. So there's no explosive in it, no nothing. It's a solid projectile. But just because of the sheer speed, it's hitting with that much force. Now, I don't know if that translates to they can get it into space, or whether they are getting it in, or they could get it into space. I'm pretty sure it's still only in a test phase. But I think they can do it. I'm most certain they can do it. That's the last thing I sort of heard about that. What is Mark 4 in Ks an hour? That's
No
fucking
idea.
quick.
Couldn't tell you. I don't have that conversion on my phone calculator. But yeah, so I don't know where it sort of got to from there, but they kind of gave up on the whole super gun thing because at the end of the day, it's so big.
Mm-hmm.
It's a static object, so you can't aim the thing. So you've got, like, you set it up, it can aim in one spot.
You can aim probably in that sort of line if you wanted to change your speeds to drop at a certain point.
Yeah, but if you want to, like,
you're quite limited.
If you want to shoot from Iraq to, I don't know, France one day and then change to Germany the next day, you can't, because
It'd be a massive feat too. Yeah.
fucking 200 and something ton of steel.
Yeah.
And it's embedded into a hillside. So that whole thing sort of never really got any further. I mean, we've got rocket-propelled stuff now, so...
I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with something that does get them there, to be honest. Like, you just intrigued me after knowing that they are doing...
Oh, well, they've tried it, but times have come a long way since then.
Yeah.
There's no need for it now.
But, without having the fallout of a nuclear weapon, being able to just shoot a solid projectile, which is essentially what you were saying before, you're shooting a projectile into space, it can still create that much energy without the fallout, so to speak.
Yeah, the other thing is containing it. So obviously there's Newton's law with the equal and opposite reaction. So if you're sending a projectile...
Yeah.
Like, because the projectiles themselves that were designed to go out of this super gun, I can't remember how big they were, but obviously something going through a meter bore, that's fucking heavy, like tons.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
a lot of force.
To fire that...
To get speed as well, like...
Well, this is where I don't know if they're using, and possibly apart from a propellant or as well as magnetic fields to launch something.
Well, that's
'Cause
how
you mentioned
railguns work. Railguns work with
Yeah.
electromagnetic.
The problem with that was
electromagnetic.
power.
Yeah.
Like, you need a fuckload of power to activate those magnets to sling that projectile. But they were breaking the mark with the railgun. And I do believe the railgun is mounted on some US ships still, or one. I don't know.
Well, it'd still be an effective weapon just for not shooting into space.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
But they said they sort of... The benefit of getting a satellite into space without having to use a spaceship or a rocket is the cost. So it costs something like $22,000 per something. I can't remember what the metric was, or whether it was second or per kilometre, or I don't know what it was, but it was like $22,000 per something to do it the traditional method, versus proposed it was like $1,500 per whatever for this Babylon supergun back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think now Elon said, I'm pretty sure on a video, it's like 100 mil to launch a rocket into space or some shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So you're talking about the weight.
That's after you get everything going and happening fine as well. You got to do all those
Yeah.
tests beforehand as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got to be at the right time on the spin of the Earth and all this other shit. How you're talking about the weight of the gun before? How much does a damn spaceship weigh then?
Oh, it'd be
It's probably less than you think.
no, it'd be thousands of tons, surely. Surely, it's got to weigh a fuck ton. But the amount of rockets and stuff they have on that thing, like that's why they're so expensive.
Yeah.
4,500,000 pounds.
You got a pound converter?
I do. We'll do this. Fuck, we're
4 million.
getting into some boggy territory here. Volume, no, mass. Pounds, 2 kilograms. What did you have? 4.5 million pounds is. Sorry, I've had too many zeros there. 4.5 million pounds is basically 2 million kilos. So do tons instead. 2,000 tons. 2008 tons.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Holy shit.
But once you get out into space, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So-
well, it's not nothing, but there's still weight in space, isn't there? You're not weightless,
Weight
completely
is-
weightless, are you?
Pretty sure weight's
Oh,
relevant
yeah.
to the gravity.
Yeah,
Either way,
that makes sense.
It takes a lot to get things out of this world.
That's insane. You know, this same article when he was talking about how much it takes to shoot a rocket into space, he was sitting there talking about the fuel. Because to me, I'm sitting there going, "Oh, you're gonna need." We're sitting there in a bloody, oil crisis and shit. How much fuel you're fucking gonna use? And he's like, actually, it's like 80% oxygen to 20% fuel. That's the ratio. There's still obviously gonna be a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
But I'm like oxygen or hydrogen or something. I'm like, okay.
Just a
Probably
gas of some
oxygen.
sort.
The ratio was ridiculous. He was like, oh, there's not actually that much fuel in comparison. Like, I thought those big boosters were just fuel in my mind. Like, I'm just like, oh, they're just full of fuel.
Oh, the oxygen is fuel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
There you go.
That's insane.
just on that note of firing a bullet up in the air. So, if you fire a bullet straight up in the air and it comes down and hits you, will it kill you?
Well, I did look into this as well.
Josh.
Yeah.
It's debatable.
Debatable.
It's not debatable.
I think
It's
it is.
defined, but
Like,
if it
when something falls, is it relative to the weight? And you're getting 9 meters per second. Per second is the rate.
It's relative to weight and wind resistance.
Yeah. So you've got gravity's like 9 meters per second or some shit.
9.8.
Yeah. So it can't exceed that unless it's got
No,
mass or
but-
force.
Well, it's going to reach a terminal velocity.
Yeah, everything has a different terminal velocity.
So will it kill at that? It possibly could.
Everything has a different terminal. Like a feather has different terminal velocity
Yeah.
than a
Yeah.
penny.
Yeah. So
So you shoot
a
your-
9 mil, is it going to kill? I don't know, because you can drop a penny off the Empire State Building or whatever it is and it not kill.
No, that's been proven not true.
No, it's been proven true. Mythbusters proved it. It was not true.
Yeah, it proved it's not true. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So I think it's relative. And is the gun exactly 90 degrees?
That's what I said. I said
You know?
straight up in the air.
Yeah.
It depends where it hits you and how it hits you.
Like, yeah, I guess if you
Where
look
it
up,
hits you.
if you look up and it hits you in the eyeball, it's probably the spot where it's going to kill you.
You hear the shot and you're like,
But
And you watch it, yeah, it's getting bigger.
at the end of the day, it can kill you because people do die.
Well,
On like New
the,
Year's
the
and
terminal
shit like that.
velocity of a bullet falling isn't enough to kill you. The ones that do kill you are the ones that shot, because obviously when you fire it straight up in the air, the bullet loses its velocity, slows down, and in the quickest it can go is its terminal velocity, which isn't enough to kill you. Can't tell you the number. But
I read somewhere it was the equivalent of dropping a brick from about half a metre above your head.
it's not going to kill you.
Mythbusters did this, and the
But-
9 mil was only going into the soil like an inch or less.
Anyway,
Right? Anyway.
so it was, who was the guy off Mythbusters? The redhead? It was him and Potassium, so a guy from Perth. They did the test, and it wouldn't kill you. But when it could kill you is if it's shot on like an angle, because the bullet doesn't actually slow its momentum down as much. It's still faster than terminal velocity, and it can maintain its aerodynamics. So
Sorry, I'm just thinking about the chick off Mythbusters now. I've just completely zoned out.
fuck.
I forgot
Yeah,
about her. She was all right. She had wisdom.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of it.
I have no idea.
she's
but-
redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, redhead got you on it, didn't it?
Yeah, red. As
Yeah.
you said redhead, I started thinking about the chick. I'm like, yeah, she wasn't too bad. And then Brains is attractive, yeah. And then I just have
And then
not listened to
angle
anything.
shot.
I've not listened to a thing.
Well,
Oh.
I'm in agreement with you. Like, I don't think at 90 degrees it would. And you've obviously said it's been proven, so.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
try it.
All right.
What about if it was an arrow?
Neither. I'm not trying either.
And did you know, like, the penny theory thing? It was the penny reaches its terminal velocity within 20 meters or something. It was like 13 or 20 around there somewhere. So dropping it from 30 meters or the Empire State Building, it doesn't matter.
Relevant.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Science. I'll do a Ryan here. Science, bitch. Fucking hell.
Jesus. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn, isn't it?
Please get onto the topic that I'm hoping you're getting onto.
Well, I'm going to because we touched on this a little bit out shooting actually. So my topic out of this world, and I feel like this topic was suggested to tee up this.
Yeah, well, Josh was very quick on suggesting the topic for this week. So
Yes,
I figured there was some that prompted that.
and I'm not sure if yours is going to tie in with mine.
It is.
You're both going to touch tips. Let's be
It is. And I've sort of
be
preempted
the
it,
first
and I'm
time.
hoping that you don't get into it, but you're probably going to get into it, bro. So it might just be an we'll do a collaboration.
Done.
We'll call it. Yeah.
I'll just vote for who's presented the better.
Oh no, don't because I'll probably fail.
All right, present to me. Who's going first? You.
All right, I'll go first.
Go.
So out of this world, my question to you guys is: do you think that alien life exists?
God damn it.
I nearly went there.
That's exactly
I
where I was
nearly
going.
went there when I was doing my research. I nearly went there.
I was like, you're going to pick a gun of some sort because you weren't in the conversation. So I thought that you just were out of the loop.
This is
But yeah.
'cause you two were out looking up in the sky on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, holding
Actually,
hands.
yes, we were looking at the sky.
You know that period where like the light drops off and you were just waiting for it to get dark enough, whatever. It was pretty much that point.
To spotlight. Let's not.
To spotlight.
Let's man it up a little bit.
Yeah.
You two were both laid on your back. Just fucking-
We're out sitting on the tailgate of the ute in the middle of the paddock waiting for it to get dark.
both were laying on the bonnet with a blanket.
But yeah, the question is, do you think that alien life exists in space?
I think the idea of it is cool. As in, yeah, there's something out there and that would be a cool thing. But probably not.
See, I think the
I like the idea of it, but I
Yeah.
don't think in reality it is.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think that, well, Earth, I guess, even if it is a small miracle or miracle for intelligent life to happen, like our galaxy is estimated to have like 1,000 star or no, trillion stars in the galaxy, but it's estimated to be like over 1 trillion different galaxies in the observable space.
Yeah, and that's people's argument. Well, therefore, it's fair and reasonable that there's life on other
Yeah.
planets.
And there has been confirmed sort of high possibility planets that are in the sort of livable zone from the sun. Not our sun, but other suns. And they state that to each solar system, they average 1 to 2 planets that are livable. And I feel like with just the sheer odds that there has to be it doesn't, whether they're more advanced or not, there's definitely got to be some other sort of living, sort of intelligent life.
Yeah. So I get it.
Definitely living, but I'm not sure. It could be intelligent, may not be.
I get down this train of thought, and then I start looking, up at the sky, and I'm like, oh, but what am I? What is this thing that exists? Like, what is life? And then you just start getting too deep into. You just get lost in the fucking gravity of the whole thing.
And
you're like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, if you do, then you almost have to believe that the heavens are real. But I don't think there is.
You don't think there is?
No. And you can get deep in this, and I think this is what attracts a lot of people because they're actually searching for the meaning of life, for their own existence, or to justify their own existence. Well, it's quite simple. Out of the entire time that we've been here, there's no actual fucking evidence that there's anything that's been landed here or visited here. There's nothing like that. I mean, I know where you're going to go with the whole Tic Tac space sightings. Now, do you want to elaborate? Because I got an answer to this.
So I guess, well, one of my most popular sort of like reported events that's happened, and I heard this on Rogan, was the Tic Tac sort of UFO. And this thing, when they observed it, it was hovering above the water, and they believed to be something underneath it as well, under the water.
Is this the thing that just like changed?
Yeah, let me get to it.
Okay, sorry. Yeah.
Jesus.
I didn't know what the Tic Tac thing
It
was.
was the shape of a Tic Tac.
Okay, thank you.
And then when they observed it or locked onto it or something to take footage of it, it changed from like whatever 10 feet above water to 20,000, or for example, in like a blink of an eye or a very quick time
Less
frame
than a second.
that was unachievable by the aircrafts that we're known to have here on Earth.
And it was actively jamming signals, and there was no record of propulsion systems or anything like that was used. See, I'm more inclined to believe that is like some fucking next level thing that's being tested and developed.
Yeah.
I
100%.
think that's the explanation for that. Like,
Maybe
there is tech out there that we don't know and we're not supposed to know about because the governments that are designing it don't want us to know about it. It just so happened that they got recorded.
I got an example of this because I'm in agreement with Caleb, right? I think it's DARPA or another NGA, non-government organisation that fucking just light years ahead of us, and they've just found a method of propulsion which doesn't produce a signature, because that was one of the major things they were talking about, is there was no propulsion signature under thermal. Now, these sightings have gotten more apparent because our thermal imagery system was updated in 2017. So since 2017 onwards, they've been able to identify these things further out, and it's obviously better with the programming. I'm in agreement with you, Caleb. I think it is 100% just next level tech. One thing that comes to mind, and this is on a way lesser scale. So, and when we come to mind about tech, we think, oh yeah, 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, DARPA 25 years ahead. There are probably fucking people out there that are fucking a lot further ahead than that. Or the next team in that organisation, because they want to keep
working ahead
that gap ahead, is ahead of them. One thing that comes to mind is when we had in Australia the Tiger helicopter, right? So that actually came in, not entirely sure on the year, but it was about 10 years before we introduced it into the military. And they would do test flights over Melbourne in this chopper from a government facility. Don't know where or what it is, but it was painted grey. So every time it flew, people would just look up in the sky and it would look like a grey, like Westpac chopper, not Westpac itself, but like a survival rescue chopper or something like that. Yeah. But they were testing that fucking thing 10 years before it even before the government even were like, yeah, we'll have it,
Yeah.
put it out. They were testing it. Now, okay, that's completely different because we know choppers are real. That they work, theoretically and practically. Cool. But what don't we know? What the hell don't we know? We know that he might have been a kook. He may not have been a kook. I don't know. And when I mean kook, crazy person, but he supposedly worked in one of these government agencies in the 70s, and they found a fuel system, and it's called element B14, that produced thrust.
Sorry, the shit you can recall compared to the stuff you can't at times blows my mind.
Oh, man. I don't know, bro.
Element B14.
Yeah. I don't know, man. My head is just fucking cooked.
Actually,
You got to stop making room for all the fucking weird shit, so you get the rudimentary shit down. What's this called? It's a mouse. Yeah.
But it's trivial. You don't remember trivial shit, man. Geniuses work on the next level. I wish I was a genius, man.
just before you keep going,
Yeah.
I want to touch on the thermal thing because it reminded me of something.
Mhm.
Watched a video today, just trying to just look up this shit, and they sent a spacecraft with a thermal strong enough to pick up a bumblebee on the moon from Earth.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this thing was like, it was that focused in like finding, so it was sent to find like alien life or signatures. And yeah, the sensitivity of it was it could see a bumblebee on the moon from Earth. That's
Fucking
how
hell.
sensitive it was.
Well, that's not surprising, right?
There's bumblebees on the moon.
Well, they would know.
Have we been to the moon?
Some of the size of a bumblebee.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just got in my head now. They're specifically looking for bumblebees.
Well, that was
on
the
the moon.
example given. It was a bumblebee.
The size of a
No,
bumblebee.
it could see a bumblebee.
Okay.
The heat
An
signature of a
actual bumblebee.
If a bumblebee was on the moon, they'd be able to see it.
Fucking hell.
If it was okay,
It'd probably be more if the thermal was from the moon, it could see a bumblebee on Earth. That's probably a better analogy because there will be.
the heat
Yeah.
signature of something. The heat
There's life
signature
on
of-
Mars, on the moon. Sorry, shit. We just solved that problem.
Okay, the heat signature of something the size of a bumblebee on the moon is what they could see with this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's not surprising because I know of someone who works in an agency. And so just a backstory to this: in Afghanistan, we used to have PTs, which is like a Goodyear blimp, and it had facial recognition out to 40 k's, right? About there.
Fucking hell.
Someone could
That's crazy.
be walking along 40 k's, and this thing would pick it up, and if they had been bioed or screened, it'd come up in a database, right? That's how good the cameras were. And at that time, this person said to me, well, actually, sorry, this was third-hand information, so it was someone who knew this fella, said to me that they're working, or they have capabilities for pictures far beyond that. He said,
Like taking a picture from beyond 40K.
Yeah. With that sort of software.
Well, if you can get facial rec at 40, you'd think you'd be able to take a decent picture at like 60.
Yeah.
Just from the quality you needed.
Yeah.
That's
So-
nuts.
So that's not surprising that they've got the technology to. Okay, that's somewhat surprising because it's a fucking bumblebee from the moon.
Yeah.
But it's not surprising that they've got shit like that.
Yeah.
Really, it's not.
No.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring up that thermal thing. So
Mm.
where were you at?
Well,
Element B14.
Yes.
yeah. So they have this propulsion system from this element that they know of. Whether that powers these crafts or not, I don't know. The way that it's been described in Joe Rogan was it's actually a rectangular object surrounded by a spherical object under thermal.
Yeah, but where did that come from?
Thermal from a pilot.
No. The actual. Oh, you're talking about the Tic Tac.
There's been
You're talking about
numerous
the
sightings
B14
since.
compound that they got.
Yes. That came from, say, he was an ex-employee from a government agency. I don't know where or who. I think he did say, and I don't know if he's a kook or not, but they said they had found this, they had discovered this new element in the 70s.
Oh, it was a natural element. It wasn't like a...
Well, that's what I'm presuming. I don't know that there's a handbook on this shit, and I don't know if it's even on the periodic table, which, if it's an element, it should be.
Unless it's
but I don't know.
Alien element.
Well, is it something from a meteorite that's come, a mineral that's come from a meteorite?
I just want to believe a spaceship crash landed on Earth, and that was left over.
Well, you got to think, and this is something that I was going to bring up, man. Like, we really have no firm evidence that anything like that has happened. Right? We don't have tangible evidence. I mean, the biggest go-to that people are going to go to is Roswell, and we do know that the Russians were fucking around with that sort of shit back then, and they believe that the thing that was found was actually stitched together by other human parts in Russia. They made, obviously, this craft, and they crashed it into New Mexico, wherever it was.
Human parts?
Yeah. So
they man-made parts?
No, they cut up people and sewed it back together. And then
literally mean bodies.
Disfigured the eyes. And
as in the aliens.
Out of human parts.
Okay.
I get that. Yeah. I thought they built the spaceship out of human parts.
That's what I thought he was saying.
This is one of the... Well, Roswell, the alien, obviously. We're talking about the crash where they supposedly found an alien. Because we're talking about life.
Yeah.
Now, that's a theory. That's a theory that, well, it's probably not that far-fetched because, like we haven't had another thing crash that's had any being in it. We've had, obviously, numerous fucking kooks that have probably been sipping way too much moonshine, saying they've been abducted and probed and all that shit. But can I jump in?
No.
Don't.
You going on your topic?
No. This will tie in and you can fly back.
Go for it.
He's riffing, bruh.
I was like to say no if you ask.
This will tie
just do
in
it.
and just flow back. So I'm talking about evidence, right? So there is a telescope out there that's called the Pan-STARRS 1, okay? And in 2017, Robert, I'm probably not going to get his last name right, but Rook, found an object flying through the space shaped like a cigar. He also described it as it looked like a pizza, right? But it wasn't uniformed, it wasn't smooth, and he could tell this because light was glinting off of it differently. Anyway, this thing was travelling around 200 miles per hour, okay? So we're talking about, is it something? I don't know. Are they still tracking it? I don't know. This is an article that I found that was supporting that there could be something out there.
This item was in space or in the atmosphere?
In space, yeah. So they did say that typically an asteroid travels at, I can't remember the speed, but a certain speed, right? So it doesn't speed up or slow down unless it's being pulled into some sort of gravitational pull.
Asteroids would have to travel at different speeds depending on how their origin, where they came from, kind of thing.
Well, yes, but they don't exceed a certain speed. But this object was exceeding that, like far greater. I think it said 3 times the average speed of an asteroid.
Okay, yeah, well above.
All right, so that's something that may or may not support life out there. I don't know. When we think about life in outer space, we always come back to movies and what we've been told. It's, fucking green men with elongated heads and huge eyes and tiny bodies, misfigured things. But life isn't always like that. Here we have bacteria. Bacteria is alive, isn't it? Yeah? So,
yes.
And actually, in 1976, the Mars mission pulled out soil samples from Mars, okay? And they brought it back and they mixed it with radioactive carbon in the soil, and it produced methane. Okay, now methane is biodegraded feces. Okay, so that's suggesting that something was up there, was living, shat into the soil. They've mixed it with this radioactive material. It's produced methane, the gas, once it's been mixed with this radioactive carbon.
Yeah.
So that is a support for life, supposedly up there.
They say that Mars, just from the terraforming that's happened on the actual planet, it shows that there was glaciers and flowing of some sort of the glaciers itself or water, just by the way it's sort of carved out of the planet.
Yeah.
And they firmly believe that it once was an Earth-like planet, but it's lost its atmosphere and the minerals and all that or whatever, gases released.
And whatever's on there has died.
Yeah.
That is life. Okay, you can't deny that's life on a planet, or could have been life on a planet, but is it life as we commonly think about life?
It's like a human equivalent
Oh,
entity somewhere.
All it
Like,
needs is
it's
a single cell
far-fetched.
organism to be classified as life. Like,
Yeah, but this is fucking. It's all far fetched and whimsical and bullshit. Why can't it just be like tangible evidence? Like, such and such from Planet X comes to Earth, says, "G'day, my name's Jim. I'm from Planet
Jim.
wherever."
Jim.
I
Do
don't
they
know.
speak English?
I don't know. Like, just a fucking tangible thing. And there's supposed, there's these alien beings at Roswell and whatever. But, why is it all fucking smoke and mirrors and bullshit? And like when people say they've seen the fucking Yeti or whatever, like it's
Never a good photo.
never a
It's
good
grainy.
photo.
Yeah.
Or like when people say they see a big cat in the bush in Australia and it turns out to be a fucking house cat and they've done some weird thing with their camera. Like, why can't it just be fucking plain and simple?
everyone
like,
needs 4K video just at hand all the time.
Like, why can't it just be black and white? Do elephants exist? Go to fucking Africa, there's an elephant. Yep, they exist.
See, I agree with you here.
Oh, yeah,
because there's enough cameras in the world right now to capture something in high def if it was there. 100%.
It was. I watched too much Rogan. So his theory behind this as well is like, I'm not sure. There's an island somewhere off Africa that was it 600 years or 200 years ago. A tribe somehow made itself on that island, and they've just been separated from civilization since then. And there's been reported like 31 people remain in this tribe, and it's classified as untouched in the world, and no one's actually allowed to visit there.
Mm-hmm.
One guy did go visit there and got killed by
Is
the
this
tribe
this one
members.
off India?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know the
Yeah,
location
you talked
exactly.
about it as north, east. What is it called?
But I'm referencing this, not,
Southern
for
Island.
I can't remember.
more so like how we view that island. We sort of want to sit back and watch rather than enter. Because, well, if you enter it, what's the point? So you sort of just sit back and observe rather than go in. So Rogan was saying that if you were a more civilized being, why would you come here?
Why would you want to show yourself?
And instead just be like,
Curiosity.
these guys are fucked. I'm just going to watch from here.
Curiosity, man. At some point,
Yeah, but if they're going to be more advanced, they're going to have better imagery, and they probably could see us without coming here.
I think that's far-fetched.
Okay.
Like, why wouldn't you go?
Like,
Well, I'm
yeah.
way more
If you can
advanced.
see-
I
Oh,
could
yeah,
capture
yeah.
all these people as slaves
Probably don't need
or
Or
fucking fuck them.
some dude would probably be sitting there, having
Probed.
some sexual desire, or even just the fact that, I could better their lives.
That's all right.
Or
like-
we are the metaverse and they are living through us.
Hope no one's high.
What if each atom was its own universe and we're actually looking the wrong way? We need to look in, not out.
We are the universe.
We're someone else's universe.
So
Fucking hell!
an atom inside of us is looking at all the other
Is a
atoms,
whole
thinking,
new
What
universe.
else is out there?
Yeah,
So the atom is a world.
yeah. Or is a universe.
Fucking, you're obviously a starless universe.
Very fucking clever.
Anyway, I'm done with mine, I think.
Yeah, cool.
That tied into. I was going to ask the same thing. Do you believe in life out there? There was one more thing that I brought to mind in supposed evidence is they've actually captured a transmission that they believe has come from outer space.
I think that lasted like 60 seconds.
What was that?
That transmission.
I can't remember. They picked the same transmission up, I believe, multiple times, but it's getting stronger, which indicates that the transmission's obviously coming closer. I think.
Or they're ramping it up, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. But it's sitting at the same at a spectrum of 980 megahertz, which I have no idea what that exactly means. But the thing that came to mind with that it could explain that was in the army when you do your SIGS course, part of it is you set up a makeshift antenna that you make with star pickets and wire essentially. You plug your radio into it and you can actually listen to transactions that were made in the Vietnam War. All right, transmissions, sorry, yeah. So like contacts, reports and things like that, you can still pick them up because they're still bouncing off the ionosphere. Right, so you can still pick them up to this day.
Yeah, there's still like transmissions from like SOSs to world wars and stuff like that.
Yeah. So to me, like, is that transmission that they supposedly picked up?
I think they can tell if it comes like where it sort of
Origin.
depending on the I think it can tell where that sort of origin's from. Not exactly.
Yeah.
But they can tell if it's from an Earth or from outside.
Yeah. And they did say, I've got it written down, actually, I think. It's they reckon it's 4.2 light years away from the...
certain galaxy.
From the microphone.
Proxima Centauri or something like that. That's the area in space where they... or the constellation. I don't know if you call it constellation, but the area in space that they've designated... that they think the transmissions come from, but I don't think it is.
So they're obviously, well, not obviously. We've spent so long trying to listen for transmissions like that and trying to find it, but to hear it, you got to be in the right place, right time, right frequency. So instead, they're shifted to instead of trying to listen for frequencies, that we're sending out our own to targeting planets that are at high sort of chance of something being there, if there was.
Just like baiting
and
them.
we're sending our own frequencies to them.
Well, they actually did that, and they casted out Beethoven, Chuck Berry, and a couple of other artists that they've recorded and sent out on that.
Why music though? Because I think a language might not be able to be
Right.
interpreted. Or
Bro, if you listen to Chuck Berry in any language, you're fucking rocking the shit out of that.
There's a couple of ways they've done it. Like one was just radio frequency of just certain tones that could be mathematically changed into like imagery or somehow.
But then you're presuming that whatever you're targeting is evolved enough.
or whether they even use ears or anything, whether they don't just communicate telepathically.
Yeah.
Like, do they even use sound?
Well, they still in a chimp. Have they hit Homo sapiens? Sorry.
Homo sapiens.
Yeah, that's it.
Or they've sent like, I want to say drone, but like a small spaceship just at a planet with a gold record on there.
Yeah.
That on one side has music from the Earth, and the other side it's messages in 56 different languages. I think it is.
That's a huge presumption.
But imagine
Can you imagine if they speak like that in your thing?
No, but like they're obviously not going to speak the same fucking language. But imagine trying to work out what language we're speaking and be like, well, that okay, I think I've worked out this bit, but it's not matching anything else. What the fuck is going on here? They're trying to like decipher it.
Yeah, well.
They should send porn. That shit's going to attract anyone to the planet.
Well, it isn't the fucking aliens that they've claimed to have seen just like without genitals, just like Ken doll type thing. I think I've heard Rogan banging on about this as
it's all
well.
fucking
Like
Rogan.
that's kind of what people are evolving into, just fucking.
Well, there's no need for reproducing if you're at a certain level of sort of intellect and technological advances. That's I think
if you can maintain life to the individual, then there is no reason to.
Well, if you can
reproduce.
live for forever, what would you reproduce?
China would.
Well, no, they had that one kid policy for fucking ever.
Forever.
Yeah, because they didn't have the space.
That's why they're going to invade Taiwan.
Yeah. Soon, but it looks of it.
Caleb's well over this topic. He's like, yeah, fuck this
man,
noise. I don't believe in space shit.
It's getting late. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I just think it's fucking a lot of postulating. A lot of nerds get full into it, but yeah, the idea, like I said, the idea of it's cool, but in reality, I don't think it exists.
No, neither. And you still believe something's out there?
He just wants to be probed.
No, I think it's hard to say there can't be any life out there.
Definitively.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm just going to go on the fact that I want to believe that there is something out there. So yes.
Here we go. I've got one for you.
Confirmation bias.
This is going down to the biblical route here.
I knew I was going to turn to this eventually.
If you can believe that there's something in outer space, surely you'd be able to believe in Jesus.
You're saying I don't?
No, I'm saying, like, if you believe in one, surely you'll believe in the other.
Theory of believing in something you haven't seen with your own eyes.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, then that opens up, do you believe in the Yeti, Bigfoot, the Tasmanian tiger?
The Loch Ness.
Do you believe in Lockie?
Loch Ness Monster.
I did go on a spiral one night on YouTube about Loch Ness.
You know they've combed that whole stretch, man, with like sonar and this and that. Like, oh man, I just think, at what point do you just get another hobby?
I think it's a job for him, to be honest.
You reckon?
I'd get paid for it.
Someone gets paid for that shit.
Fucking oath.
Bloody hell. Meanwhile, there's
There'd be one person that's not, and he's just footing the bill. But
this is what I don't understand. They're looking for a Loch Ness monster, but meanwhile, in the ocean, it holds something like 95% of the world's fucking gold and like coins and shipwrecked treasure and shit. And there's only a handful of people out there looking for that shit in the ocean.
Sounds like that's what we're doing on our boat.
yeah,
48. Oh, let's get metal detectors, underwater ones. We'll dive.
but we've got to go. But that's out of the boat, and we lose.
No, this is a side.
Oh,
A side hustle.
You get a
Side
20-minute
hustle.
break.
Yeah, side hustle.
sea prospecting.
Would you ever take up prospecting?
I like the idea
If
of
I
it.
won the lotto and I had fuck all to do, I would.
Yeah, it's a good time filler.
Not fucking investing all my time and efforts into it.
But what if you hit? What if you got the yellow fever?
Honestly,
and I'm not talking about that yellow fever.
Jesus.
I'm talking about there's yellow fever and actual fever. That was called yellow fever. What are you talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. What are
sorry.
you talking about? Oh, are you talking about something sexual?
I have no idea what you're talking about anymore, man.
I wouldn't say sexual. I'd say it's more racial.
Fucking hell. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up.
It probably is. Otherwise, we'll just talk about aliens and fucking prospecting and having sex
Yeah.
with.
Would you have sex with an alien if there was, and they had
If it was
a
consensual.
vagina?
If it was
I don't know.
consensual.
Depends. I
And
don't
I
know.
was single.
Try anything once, but
Really?
I don't know. Maybe there has
Oh.
teeth in his vagina. I don't fucking know. My dick will just wash up on a beach somewhere.
Ah, fuck.
He's a cook. Next time, let's pick a gun topic or fishing.
You picked the topic, mate.
I was coerced.
I at least went with something roughly firearm related.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Which I knew you would.
Yeah.
You
I figured
to those
someone
times.
would out of us. I knew where you were going to go with this.
Yeah.
So then it was left up to me. And I'm like, Caleb can take the guns today.
Well, thanks.
Are you any further with your trail?
No,
600.
I'm on a waiting list with back orders.
Have you put a deposit?
Didn't have to.
Oh, you didn't have to?
No.
Oh, really?
I asked that question.
Ooh.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's coming in
Supposedly,
6
that's
years'
what I've been
time.
told. So I'm going to see it fucking 2024 probably.
You got plenty of time to save for it. And it'd probably jump up in price by then.
Probs.
well, speaking of guns, I just want to take this opportunity and introduce Firearms United. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen.
Say it properly.
Oh, Firearm Owners United, sorry.
And the camera is not focusing on it very well
It's
either.
not, is it?
It isn't.
Anyway, so we've recently partnered with these guys. We feel like we should support the people that support us and fight for our rights and fight for our gun laws. So I think you should at least check them out.
There you go. Now it's in focus.
Definitely.
Holy shit, you got a haircut, Caleb.
I did. Firearm Owners United.
Yes.
Look at that logo.
Look, we are very proud to be partnered with them. I'm very honoured. And
That was an honour to be asked, to be honest,
Yeah.
to partner with them. So,
it was.
and it's a cause that we are on board with as well. They're fighting some of the ridiculous gun laws that get presented in this country and exist already.
And if you can spare the a donation, cup of coffee a week or, a month or whatever to them
Yeah,
to help
just-
fight the cause.
Send it to us and we'll pass it along.
We take donations too.
But no, in all seriousness, if you guys haven't checked them out, check out their website, check out all their social media. Just look up Firearm Owners United and you'll find their latest things that they're discussing or trying to fight. They've got all their information on their website, who runs the thing as well, all the guys there. So, yeah, check it out. See what they're about. Find out what they're fighting.
And if you're in the market for some gun oils, check out High Caliber.
I'm always checking some stuff out. If you don't know already, we have our own YouTube channel that we uploaded Aussie Reviews episode. So make sure you check that out.
What's next?
What's next?
Which one?
Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. But yeah, we've also got
This is hard in reverse.
Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So and if you wanted to contact us directly with our email, it is senditmatepodcast@gmail.com.
It is.
It is. Send some funny shit to us, dudes.
Yeah, don't hold back.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. We have one member that sends us photos of the view of his shit out bush. So when he's taking a shit, he'll send a photo of his view.
Have you just got a
Shit
second
view.
email,
Shit
Josh? Or
view.
you're just sending your own?
Nope. I actually took one. I have one to actually show you both from when I was out at
Chuck
the
it up in
beach
the
the other
story.
week.
You took of your shit or the view from your
The
shit?
view from my shit. I can take a photo of my shit.
I
next
know.
time
We
if you
used to
want.
send those to each other. That was weird.
Oh, it
Don't
was.
want to see them again.
Definitely is. Anyway, jump online and support us and support Firearms United so they can help support you.
Sounds good.
Firearm Owners
Yeah.
United.
FOU.
You can tell they're fresh, guys, because we can't even say it properly. Firearm Owners United.
We'll get there.
I figured they've got it by now.
It's on the screen. If you're watching this.
Our viewers and listeners are intellectual people. I
Anyway,
think they've got it.
all the info you need is in our show notes. All the links, it's in our show notes. It's right there. It's been there for a while. So,
Right on, motherfuckers.
yo, let's wrap this thing up.
Gotcha.
Oh, fucking, not that quickly.
That was premature.
Nah,
That was you just went off in the holster, mate.
I'm done.
Just because I pressed the outro button,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
that
have to
was
be
it.
like, oh, fucking catch you.
He's 4 beers deep and he's cooked.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty
Three and a half.
tired, actually. It is bedtime. Let's pack it in.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening.
Catch you later.